Yeah. Well, yeah, that's literally, yeah, you literally just missed me saying that. I said, like, I assume, yeah, I would assume that most festivals are over capacity to some degree between people sneaking in, swapping bracelets, swapping lanyards, just generally breaking in. My guess is that most festivals are quote unquote over capacity.
I hate this. I hate
right?
this in every fucking conversation, and it drives me fucking nuts. And I'm guilty for it too. So I'm gonna take a little bit of moral blame for this one as well. When you're having these fucking conversations, fuck off.
No, I'm gonna punch the cat instead. Okay, we're gonna go punch the other couch.
Basically, one of those little nuclear woo woo woo. Yeah, little red lights going on, and you need a GTFO. Alrighty. Well, we ready to watch this thing or what? We raring to go? Should we 2x it? Should we single exit? Should we slow it down? Should we go 0.5? We should just let's listen to them really, really slow. Let's go 0.5. Yeah, you guys want 0.5. Who would ever listen to something? What? Why is that even an option for the most part? Oh, he's stroking his beard so slow.
So,
wait, why is it not? Oh, because Firefox is off. That's why. Boom. Boom. There we go. That'd be the worst. Watching it in 0.25.
let's go, Heemers. We got a fucking crazy story.
Okay,
Type 1 if you
crazy
actually
story.
like Travis Scott's music. Let's kind of get a vibe. What's his most popular song? Sicko Mode? Oh, this one. I know this one.
Oh, the screen. I fixed it. Hang on. We're going to, because I'd like to look stuff up while I'm listening to this. Okay, we're going to change it around here. We're going to go picture in picture at my face.
Anyways, he's a rapper. He had a concert. Now, so obviously what happened, there was a massive tragedy at his concert. Let's take a look and then we'll dive deep into it.
At least 8 people
Deep?
killed
How
after
deep?
crowds rushed the stage
Like super deep?
at a sold-out music festival. As many as 50,000 people were attending the first night of the Astro World Music Festival when crowds began to push toward the stage, causing panic and crushing those in front of them.
Yeah?
At one point,
You want, I got some obscure games, Sash. I got some really obscure games. I got, I got Bears Vodka Baklava. I got, let's see, I got some, where's it? Among the Sleep. Play Stellaris like D. Pars. Stellaris is great. We have, like, easily, it's almost, I think, almost one of our most played games. I have hundreds of hours in Stellaris. More than D-Man has, okay? I was playing Stellaris before he even knew about it, okay? OG Stellaris here. I have 303 hours, okay? Play Destiny, you nerd. Here's the issue. I can't, like, other than, like, Back for Blood, which I can pause while we're playing, play Hentai Sim 3K. Excuse me, dude, but that's my off-stream game, okay? Thanks for outing me, though. I appreciate it. We could play Who's Your Daddy? Where you play as a kid, a baby, and you got to stay alive, and the dad's whole job is to keep you alive. And then the baby's job in the game is to play with dangerous stuff. It's actually a pretty funny game. No, Who's Your Daddy? Could play,
medical personnel were so overwhelmed that some
I got lots of
members
obscure
began
games.
helping fellow concertgoers. Nearly 24 patients were taken to area hospitals, and investigators say at last check, the youngest patient, a 10-year-old, was still in critical condition.
Damn.
So, what happened? This concert went horribly, horribly, horribly wrong. Now, before we get into this, I gotta tell you guys, I have
2.5.
been in a concert once. It was, I think, Kendrick Lamar. I went to see Kendrick Lamar when he was still very, very new. And Drake showed up at the concert. And it was in Toronto. And Drake is from Toronto. So when Drake shows up, people lose it, okay? Now, imagine you're at a concert. This is the stage. This is the venue.
Okay.
Imagine you're standing. I was standing, let's say, like over here. This happened to me once when I was at the concert.
You're
all of
way
a sudden,
stager.
here comes Drake.
I do it.
Here comes Drake.
One concert. Yeah, one. I've been to 2 music festivals and 1 concert. We were gonna go to another one in November, but it just didn't. They had to change around. It wasn't working. The one we went to actually was Iron Maiden. It was actually a really good concert. One of the best my wife said she's ever been to. Wife's been to tons. The music festivals we've been to. Yeah. Hey Zens, how's it going? We're watching the Heem Ahrelevant throwdown. So we're listening to Heem explain to us where the stage is and where he was standing.
All right. And all of a sudden, I swear to God, I felt from the back of me a direct force being applied, which felt like it was unavoidable. All of a sudden, these people, it felt like they were like, charge!
Oh yeah.
And everyone just kept coming forward.
Well, we'll go through that one part. So that was the good one.
Pushing, everyone pushed and squeezed in. And I swear to God, I could feel we moved probably from this point. I probably moved to like over here somehow amongst a massive group of people. You're moving forward, you're moving left, you're moving right, backward. You can't even tell. You just kind of have to move along with the crowd. And it's actually scary. It's actually really scary. After
I think it's kind of neat. Well, I mean, it depends on which, I guess, you're trying to do. If you're trying to make your way closer to the stage, it's kind of neat. If you're kind of like, oh, I'm good back here, I don't really want to get in the crowd. Next thing you know, you like look back, and there's like 200-300 other people behind you. It can be a little weird. So Denzel Curry's Death Pit, when he played Rage Against the Machine, Bulls on Parade, was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Oh, that'd be so good. Yeah, that'd be awesome. What? It's going to the what?
After that, I was like,
sorry, I'm ESL.
yo, there's 2 options for me. Either one, when I go to a concert, I'm going to be at the very front, first row.
Okay.
How do you do that? You show up.
Ah, yes, there we go. Nice, Stuber. Okay, I don't like this small screen. I'm gonna fix this
Up
while we
early
listen.
in line, maybe 4, 5, 6 hours early. You show up with friends, you bring a chair, you vibe in the line, and you make sure you get to the front, because at the front you're usually safe, because even if people are pushing over here, you're chill at the front. Alternatively, you show up late and you just hang at the back where it's also safe. The middle is absolutely fucked unless there's seating. Yes, it does. It acts exactly like a liquid. Look at that. It's exactly like a liquid.
I've never been at the front of a concert where it was
Tommy
chill,
says.
but okay.
You see, look, here it comes. Everyone has to move together, because if you don't, you're gonna fall. You have no option. You're at that point, you literally feel completely helpless.
That's a weird.
And I don't know why people are so far. Like, listen, okay,
It's like a
hang on.
literal
This is-
fucking
part of this
tsunami.
has to do with the concert attendees. Okay, if you are
No, this is just me, but I was also weird enough to get people to get yeah.
here
That's
to
a
watch Kendrick
big crowd
Lamar,
during
and you're
COVID.
standing over here, and then Drake happens to come on, surprise appearance. Why would you think in your head, like, let me charge forward? Why not just stay where you've been comfortable that whole time? What is the difference between watching Kendrick Lamar from here or
I think the controversy, Sash, is that I think people argue that Travis Scott didn't stop the concert like others have done to get like people help or to tell people to like, hey, help people up and stuff, and just kind of like the accusation is he just kept playing. So I'm kind of like, I don't know either of their positions. My guess is Heem's position is that he should have stopped the concert, and then I'm assuming since it's a debate, Ahrelevant is taking the opposite of it. Everyone in Heem's chat was jerking off Metal Pit, saying it doesn't happen there and people will help you up. No, absolutely not. To the one I've even been, it got pretty fucking dicey in the one mosh pit.
watching Drake from here? What is the difference? Why do people feel the need to, like, on guard, charge everyone together?
True.
I hate that shit. So anyways, it seems like that's what basically happened. Let's take a look at some of the footage. Now, a lot of people were saying one of the biggest problems with concerts is the fact that people are fucked up. I know. Wow, what a fucking groundbreaking theory. Last time I went
crazy.
to a rave concert festival like this, whatever, by the end of the night, people are so fucked that, like, I was there. I'll never forget this feeling. I don't remember who the artist was. I don't remember anything.
I don't
All
wanna
I
be the biggest
remember
thing on
was
screen.
looking around at one point and thinking, everyone here has no soul left in their body. This is the most depressing thing I've ever seen. I
my
don't want
God,
to be a
kitty
part
cat.
of this. Get me out of here.
What are
Everyone
you
is just
doing?
like beyond belief, and it's just like it's such a I don't know. It's such a I just
at
can't
least
help but
4
look at the
fingers
whole
and at
situation
least
from, like, a third party perspective. And be
there's
like,
been
this
some
is
drugs.
Whack.
There's been some
I don't
drugs.
know. But anyways, apparently the security was already really bad. This is as we were arriving at Astroworld Festival, a stampede burst through the gates. Hundreds of people destroyed the VIP security entrance, bypassing
I have to say, there's one thing I never saw at the festival was a horse by any means.
the checkpoint. People were trampled. Some were detained. This is the before the concert even got going.
Yeah, this isn't. Oh, that would be a fun concert. I like how the one security guard's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna stop this shit. Jesus. At that point, honestly, they're clearly just gonna run through. Just get out of the way.
This is the kind of I like this purple hair person's vibe. They're just walking like, what the?
Like, seriously, what is this guy doing? He's just gonna get himself hurt.
Oh my
like,
god.
It's.
What are these? What the hell? What are these police officers?
Did you imagine running in? One of the horse like has a shit, and you slip and you fucking face plant right into the fucking horse shit. That'd be some fucking lol moments right there. Actually, not gonna make any comments. Yeah, you just watch. No, let's hear him say, "Come on, Sash, come on, come on, Cletus, come on." Let's hear him. I get it. You want to like, yeah, I did something, but. Yeah, torches and
Are the
chat
horses
for
supposed
Sash.
to do
Let's hear
here?
him.
Stop, or we're gonna get the horses to step on you. Get off the fucking horse! And what the hell are they doing? Yo, why is this guy? Is that security? Oh my god, this is
Oh
security.
yeah, he's ready to try. Well, the thing is like when you have like, because it's not the first time somebody's been hurt at a Travis Scott concert. Like there have been other stories. I have no problem with his music. Trash problems require trash
Body
solutions.
checking randoms.
Plus trash
Is that
music.
security?
This guy with
This is
no
security.
shirt. Fuck, that's cold as fuck. Seriously, what temperature is it? You got people in like t-shirts, you got people with no shirts, you got this guy in like layers. How, like, what is the temperature here? Everybody's just all over the fucking place. Oh yeah, he's like for sure wanting to throw hands.
This is like the
And
January
this guy's
6th
probably
all
trying to
over
leave.
again. Anyways,
Oh no, is a security guy. Okay.
you can see obviously it was a show from the very start. Now, apparently, like I guess the thing is, one big problem is that this guy Travis Scott has been like, you know when they say like, oh, on Twitch you're getting a toxic.
He said he was
community?
edgy.
He's
Said
been
he was
like
edgy.
harboring this exact behavior. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Look at
Jesus.
this one. This was from before. This was from May
Why?
5th. He's saying, nah, we still sneaking the wild ones in. I guess when they were at capacity. Like he's like asking for, you know, chaos and shit. He's saying like be wild at the concerts, you know. It's yeah. Anyways, so then what happened at the concert? Obviously the trampling, and so what's really fucked, which is the most
Well, I know I watched the one video of him. He a guy was trying to like take his shoe or something, and he was telling the crowd to like beat his ass. So
fucked thing I think in this whole situation is that the concert, after these people were trampled and whatnot, there was people asking for help in the audience, and here's footage of people asking for help, and no one seems to care.
to be fair too, and I see Revolt Rise's comment, it could be the case that people break through like the security barricades to go watch the show and don't like push the crowd closer and closer to the stage, right? Because not only does it take the people that are like breaking through, it takes everybody as a crowd to keep pushing closer and tighter and tighter and tighter and moving forward and forward, right? Kind of like that liquid. It's not like one, I wouldn't say, what's up, comrade? I wouldn't say one thing directly leads to another, but it just kind of shows the energy that's in the crowd at the time. I wouldn't want to say one has caused the other. How you doing tonight, CM?
Okay, let me see what else.
Oh, that's
Here's
where you
another
wanted to
one.
say I want to make the ground shake. And the guy's like, I got to keep the camera on it.
Imagine the fucking nightmare of not stopping the concert. What
I
a
mean-
fucking nightmare.
To be fair, this guy, at best, he probably has like the ability to radio to somebody. Hey, there's people up here asking for help. They're saying that people are like having like health issues. Maybe they can't breathe. Maybe people are passing out. People are injured. But like this camera guy alone is probably not gonna be able to stop the show, right? His job at the end of the day is to keep that camera focused on Travis Scott, right? Just throwing that out there.
Dude, of not stopping the concert. Let me view this off stream first. There's literally, oh my god, I'm watching a video right now. I don't even think I can show this one on stream. The concert is going on and there's people doing CPR. Now listen, getting trampled is already really fucking terrifying, but getting trampled while you're on drugs or fucking drunk is, you're not even close to equipped to deal with that. This is one person's story. Let's take a look. This is tragic, man. I decided to share what happened last night as it was a nightmare. Last night, I almost died. Seriously, I was in the crowd near the front. Travis came on stage and the crowd got crazy. I was immediately pushed to the ground. I was flat on the ground and about 5 other people
I don't
were
even
on
know what
top
that's
of me.
supposed to mean,
I was at
Sash.
the very bottom. I couldn't breathe. I was screaming for help. Please help me. Y'all are killing
Oh my
me.
God,
Is what I
sweats
screamed
to
in
me.
fear that night. I could have possibly been my last. I was being crushed, stepped on continuously for 2 minutes straight. Eventually, a random guy saw me struggling. His eyes opened wide and he grabbed me, pulling me up, saying, "You need to get out of here." And that's why I did. I'm thanking God that I'm alive. He saved me.
I understand that, but you understand, like, I think you agree that like the camera guy's not gonna stop the show, right? Now I'll give a counter to that, right? He could have arguably zoomed the camera over where the people were having the health problems, right? I agree with that. If he really wanted to be like, fuck this shit, people are dying, he could have easily panned to the people that were like on the ground having fucking health problems, and like everybody could have seen it clear as day. 100%. Yeah, no, he should have radioed in. That's what I'm saying, right? Is like he should have, at the very least, radioed it in and be like, people are having health problems. We probably need to shut this down, right? I'm not saying the buck stops with him, but he could have done something other than just telling him to get the fuck off, right? He might not have the power to shut it down, but he has the power to like put the steps in motion to shut it down. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, I agree. I agree. Okay, so that was more of what my point was.
He heard me
Fucking
praying
Bob
on
Ross
the
me.
ground. If I die here, please just take me to heaven. As I
Goddamn
struggled for
right.
air, my lungs being crushed by people. 8 of the people confirmed dead so far. Please continue praying for their souls. Look at this. There's an ambulance in the crowd, and still they're not stopping.
No, his name is not Alec Baldwin, so no.
Like, what is
He was pointing a camera at guns, not guns at a camera. Pars, okay? Get it right.
happening? How do you not fucking stop? Look at these pictures. Look at this. What the fuck? Look at this. How do you not stop? It seems like the most basic thing to
Jesus.
do. No? What are you afraid that the vibes are gonna be ruined? It's gonna ruin the good vibes? Just stop. Get
You
it
think
sorted
people would
out.
get out of the way,
This one here
too.
says Travis Scott 100% was aware that people were dying and he knew about the ambulance in the crowd but continued the show. Let's take a look at this one.
What's in the picture? What picture? Oh, there's an ambulance going through the... Yeah, there's an ambulance right here. Can you see? Kind of see? Actually, you know what? I'm an idiot. Hang on 1 second. I'm big dumb. I'm big dumb tonight. 1 second. I am just... Firefox. Hang on. My brain is firing on like half cylinders today. Because we can just do this. But I want that tab off. Come on, come off. Go away. There we go. There we go. Okay, now we're
Happening?
now we're
How do
big
you
brain
not
today.
fucking
There we
stop?
go.
Look at these pictures. Look
You
at this.
idiot. It's
What the
called
fuck?
love,
Look
you
at this.
idiot.
How do you not stop? It seems like the most basic thing to do. No? What are you afraid that the vibes are gonna be ruined? It's gonna ruin the good vibes? Just stop. Get it sorted out. This one here says Travis Scott 100% was aware
So yeah,
that
we'll go
people
back.
were dying
Hang
and
on,
he
we'll go
knew
back one more
about the
time.
No? You
You can see
afraid that
the
vi-
ambulance right there, Sash. There's an ambulance literally in the crowd, as is trying to drive through.
vibes are gonna be ruined.
So.
It's gonna ruin the good vibes. Just stop. Get it sorted out. This one here says Travis Scott 100% was aware
Clearly
that
not.
people were dying and he knew about the ambulance in the crowd, but continued the show. Let's take a look at this one.
Bro, I paid for my ticket. I'm gonna enjoy it to the last drop. Oh my God, Heem, turn it up.
He doesn't say, "Hey, move out of the way for the ambulance."
Oh,
but listen,
play it
this-
all the way
Nami, it's
through.
one thing to like pause. It's another thing to be like, "Hey, there's a excuse me."
Who was that by? Who was that? Because if you play it the rest through, he literally goes back to, he goes back to singing like right after. Come here. Oh, where the fuck? I was hoping we could find it here. If anybody has it. Okay, here we go. Hang on. How long ago? Probably a couple of days ago. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, so much Nicki Minaj retweets on this fucking profile. Okay, that one. Okay, that's not it. That's the people up on the... No. That's people running through. That's an ambulance. Ah, here it is. Okay, here it is. Let's do... Okay. So watch this whole thing. Because if you watch it, he... Is this the one? Yeah. Oh, no, this isn't the one. 22 seconds. Damn, that's not the one.
What the fuck is that?
I'll try to find it. There's a better one where he does it where he's like, what the fuck is that? And then he's like, what the fuck is that? And he says it a few times. And then he's like, all right, I want to make the ground fucking like shake or something. And then he just immediately goes back to playing. So. Which would be the better video to have up.
Doesn't say, "Hey, move out of the way for the ambulance." But listen, to Nami, it's one thing to like pause. It's another thing to be like, "Hey, there's a excuse me, there's a situation happening."
Everybody good, put a middle finger up in the sky.
Oh yeah, this is what it was.
Oh,
This
okay.
is what it was. Look, there's but this is the most damning part of the clip.
Oh, okay, good,
This
good,
is
good,
I
good.
saw this one. This one is absolutely. Look at this. Look at this.
What is that?
You can see the ambulance is right there. Okay, it's literally right there. Okay, we can all agree that the ambulance is right here.
That's a base ass meme.
Everybody good, put a middle finger up in the sky.
Have fun, Sash.
Okay, where my guy, man? Come on. Yeah, all that. 2 hands to the sky. 2 hands to the sky. 2 hands up, y'all. 2 hands up. Y'all know what y'all came to do. Chase me. Let's go. I want to make this motherfucking ground shake, goddammit.
Yeah, right there. Jesus.
Here we go. Here we go. 5, 4. What is that?
Yeah, like, what are you doing? You see there's an ambulance. People are having issues. Not Not, hey, make way for the ambulance. Get out of the way. We're gonna take like a quick like 25, 30-minute break. We're gonna figure out, and then we'll come back, right? Like, go have some water, go have some coffee, you know, and then come back. Singing them to Valhalla. True. What a way to send them out.
Insane. Now, I saw another one. I don't know if it was this one or next one.
Speaking
but he
of
was
coffee,
like, give me
we're
a
all
middle
loud.
finger if you're all right.
Yeah, we didn't say have fun, Sash. Thanks for coming, man. Hopefully you enjoy your volleyball. Hopefully you win. If you win, come back. Let us know. If not, don't come back. Okay, we don't want that. We don't take that kind of beta energy around here. I'm just kidding. That'd be true Sigma energy to come back after you've lost.
That was how he gauged whether the crowd was all right. That was his method of gauging it. This guy jumps off the ambulance into the crowd. Like, just absolute mayhem. Imagine you're... And, oh, this is the most f***ed up part. It was an all-ages event. It was an all-ages event. So fun, man.
Yeah, one of the kids
Scary,
that got,
man.
I think, died was like
you
super
go
young,
see your
weren't
favorite
they?
artist, and this is what happened. There was also a person who became paralyzed at a previous thing where they jumped into the crowd after being egged on by... No way. You want to see a couple of good examples? Here's how it's done. Here's Adele stopping the show because after some shit happened.
Boom, right? Just like nothing, without skipping a beat.
That's how you do it.
A pelican's feather, bear's tooth, and a crab's claw. Nice. And then we can truly perform our alchemy.
I dare you to debate what's Irrelevant's take? Here, I have one more. Here's this one too. David Grohl.
David Grohl.
You don't
Yes.
fight at my show, you asshole. Who's right there? Let me see. Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting?
I believe
Let me see.
believe so.
The striped shirt right there. Hey, motherfucker, look at you. Hey, look at me. Hey, in the striped shirt. Look at me right here, motherfucker. Look at me. Look at me. Get the fuck out of my show right now. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of my show. Get the fuck out of my show.
Like, do you want your concert
Yes.
to be? This is like kind of like a microcosm of Twitch streams. You know what I mean? There's two
David
kinds
Grohl
of
is so base.
streamers, all right? There's the streamers that want to have a good vibe in their chat, like me, I think, right? And then there's streamers who don't
Yeah,
give
you
a
would
fuck
think so
about the
highly
vibe in
yourself,
their
Heem,
chat.
wouldn't
The
you?
more chaos, the better. No policing in chat, that's what happens. And it really just depends what kind of community
We
do
want
you
good vibes.
John Zerka is Travis Scott.
You don't come to my show and fight. You come to my show and dance, you asshole.
This is me. You come to my stream to laugh and have a good time, you fucking assholes. All right, let me see this Linkin Park one. Someone says this one.
True. Don't be so angry.
Hold up. Yo. We got a little problem up here.
Good old Linkin Park.
Everybody up.
Poor Chester.
Easy.
Guys.
Oh my God, it's me! Oh my God, I'm in chat!
Easy.
Nobody gets hurt.
Oh my God, look at this. Oh, this is a good one. Oh my God, look at me, guys. I'm on TV, guys.
That's number one. We'll play the whole shit again if you guys get up, if you guys are all right. Okay, watch yourselves.
Hey, yo, man. We know we've been stressing all night about being cool, and this is the reason why. Let's go over it one more time.
Good old Linkin
When
Park.
someone falls, what do you do? When someone falls, what do you do? That's right, people.
Damn.
I like
I don't
that.
know, man. They were 10K over capacity. Well, listen, that falls on the event
The venue
organizers
people,
as well. I'm
yeah.
not saying it's just his responsibility. Let me see what Relly's saying.
Hello.
My man's, how you doing?
Oh boy,
I'm
she
doing
starts.
Why is everyone asking me to talk to you?
It's because I am taking. It has to do with the Travis Scott situation.
Yep.
Throwing down.
You're putting a lot of blame on Travis Scott, whatever the fuck that means. And I want to have a conversation with you about that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So, can I ask you what you believe the wrongdoing of Travis Scott was?
Yeah, so I think that like it's pretty clear that Travis Scott at some point knew that a lot of harm was being done to people in the crowd, and he even acknowledged it and was kind of stun locked for a second. He sees that there is an ambulance of sorts. I don't know if it's like a golf cart ambulance or a regular ambulance that's clearly stuck in the middle of the crowd, and he says something along the lines of like put your middle finger in the air if you're all right or something like that, and then continues the show. So I think that like at that point when you see sirens in the middle of the crowd like that that's stuck, you have to pause the concert altogether and say like, whoa, everyone open up the crowd, let the ambulance get out. We're not continuing the show until the situation gets sorted out. And it seems like at that point, he made the decision to keep the vibes going rather than to address what was happening in the crowd.
Do you think that maybe the security team might have told him? Do you think there's a possibility the security team might have told him that it wasn't necessary to pause the entire show?
Based off of like, why would the security team tell him that? I mean, like,
why wouldn't,
because
why,
like,
okay,
go ahead.
Let's do another. Why wouldn't the security team tell him to stop the show?
Why? Because like I'm saying, what my thing is like, what if the security there was no communication with the security team? Would you say at that point that he should stop?
Oh yeah, well him given no knowledge of any kind of circumstance from anybody else, sure, but I would say that it's probably an error on the organizers.
Oh, I'm putting a lot of blame.
Yeah, but you're still up on stage. You can still see everything. It's not like once you see, like, you've already. It'd be like me seeing a fire truck coming, and not stopping and being like, well, there wasn't like other flashing lights to tell me not to stop for that. Like, clearly something is going on. You need to, like, you're aware of the situation now. Wouldn't matter if security's like, oh, we're just having a few issues with with people, and then they don't update you, and then you see an ambulance and you're like, okay, like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I don't know. I guess we don't, and to be fair, we don't know the communication between them. So that is a fair point.
I'm putting a lot of blame on them as
But
well.
what I'm saying is, to my knowledge, there's usually coordination going on between some person in the background and Travis Scott. So he got no communication that he needed to perhaps shut down the show or what have you from other people, because there's people in the background that are communicating with the security team as to whether or not the show needs to stop.
But you as the artist have a perspective on the crowd as well. So you're saying that the artist holds no responsibility?
Well, the artist doesn't know better. The artist doesn't know. But so let me give you an example. The police chief, Houston police chief, said that they were afraid if they stopped the show, the casualties would have been higher. So they didn't want to stop the show.
What is that? What is that?
Wait, what? Why would the casualties be higher? Houston police didn't want to stop Travis Scott because everybody would like panic. Oh. Fucking everything's behind a fucking paywall. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I can't even read that one. Jesus. Okay. I mean, I could definitely see that, like, people are, but then, like, that just, but I feel like I feel like the crowd is going to do what the artist says, right? Because they are, like, that's kind of like the thing of being, like, an influencer. Is your fans are going to, you have, like, that power over your fans to listen to you. So I feel like if Travis Scott had been like, hey, guys, we're just going to take a second, everybody take a breather, everybody, you know, maybe make some space between yourselves, you know. But then again, it doesn't seem like that's really the vibe of his concert. So
I mean, I guess I have to look into what the police chief said. We just started looking into it.
Yeah, the New York Times.
What is the police chief's
okay, so that was the New York Times. Okay.
It would have been worse.
It's because there could have been rioting. There could have been issues with people trying to block the people trying to get out. Because the thing that people are focusing on is 8 people died, and they're really heavily focusing on that, and not the fact that there were people that were saved who got transported out of the crowd, and how difficult that could have been if they stopped the event or what have you to be able to do it, to get people out. Because if they stopped the event, it might have caused even more confusion or panic, or more, not specifically panic, but anger. And that's at least what the police chief seemed to say. I could get you a quote if you want me to.
Yeah, I guess I'm curious to hear about it. It just seems like I've never heard of a situation where, like, bringing attention to some tragedy that's happening in a crowd is gonna like, I feel like most people should be able to understand that if a concert is being stopped because of health risks in a crowd, that their reaction wouldn't be anger.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. And even earlier it
and we've seen this in other concerts as well, right? Where the artist stops.
So the show ended on Friday night, 30 minutes earlier than scheduled, but nearly 40 minutes after a mass casualty event had been declared by city officials. One question surrounding the tragedy was whether the officials could have stopped the show sooner. They said that doing so would have had its own perils, including inciting a riot. Fire Chief Samuel Benet said on Sunday that Mr. Scott and the organizers could have stepped in and paused the show. The one person who can really call for and get a tactical pause when something goes wrong is that performer. They have a bullpit, and they have a responsibility, Chief Benet said. in a telephone interview on Sunday. If somebody would have said, hey, shut this thing down and turn on the lights until this thing gets corrected, and that coming from the person with the mic, it could have been very helpful. Mr. Scott and Live Nation declined to respond to specific questions, but they said they will be cooperating with the investigation. So while it was the chief saying that like they themselves didn't want to shut down the show, it would have actually been very helpful if Travis Scott would have said, hey, we're going to take a break. So
the concert abruptly to address medical situations. And you know, the crowd is there because they're a fan of the artist. Whatever the artist says will go. If the artist says shut the fuck up, move out of the way, the fans will comply. It's like a parasocial thing, right?
What I'm saying though is with the police chief saying that they were afraid that if they stopped the concert, some excess casualties might have been incurred, and the fact that the security staff was, at least based on the New York Times, factually coordinating with Travis Scott's security team as well, their security staff. It wouldn't surprise me if people were telling Travis Scott to not stop the concert. It wouldn't surprise me at all. You could say whether or not it was a good call by the police.
And this is from the New York Times article, the one I'm assuming
Relly was saying
was
is that he might have made an appeal to people that he thought knew better than him, his security team, that, by the way, he amped up in light of previous shit to be on comparable levels with like World Series security teams. He had 500 people on the security team.
Damn.
But I mean, obviously it wasn't enough. We've seen videos of people instantly running through the gates and stuff.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't enough. I don't disagree with you. But what I'm saying is if they dramatically amped up their security and things like this, like what I'm saying is it's not like they're completely vagrantly ignoring all
So you're okay, let me get it clear. So what you're saying is if the security team told him not to stop, like, or said keep going based off of some risk analysis that they've made.
Yeah. Whether true or false.
Yeah, whether true or false. That you would then not hold any responsibility to him.
No, I think he could still hold some responsibility for not pausing and saying clear the way for the ambulance and shit like that. But I think the level at which people are saying like he actively like participated in the killing of these people. No, he doesn't know.
I don't even think Heem has said that. I don't think that wasn't even Heem's position. It was just that he saw an ambulance stuck in the crowd. Said like, what is this? Should have paused and everybody open. And since he didn't, he kind of went on with the show. He's like, he holds a little bit of responsibility for, like these people not getting the help they needed.
He doesn't. I don't put the emphasis or the moral weight of blame onto Travis Scott for needing to know how to do this situation when he just like tripled his security staff that are supposed to be able to handle situations like this, and that maybe he was getting communication, or maybe they said if we do not communicate with you at all, keep the show going, right? And things like this, right? I need to see more information before I can cast any kind of further blame than like some like little shit.
Well, can I ask
shit that? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so I just wanted to ask you. Like,
little.
I've seen pictures of him like tweets before where he's like, "We're still sneaking people in."
Why is it that other artists can do it in arguably bigger shows, right? But we have this one where it's super clear, you can see it, and he doesn't do anything about it, and there's like nothing, no, like you can't even give any blame for not even just pausing the show. Like, you don't have to blame him for those deaths, because those deaths might have happened anyways, right? They might have already been beyond care. But the fact you didn't even like lend a hand to the emergency staff to get them through to get the care that they might have needed, I still think you have a little bit of blame there. I think it's okay that you carry a little bit of blame there. Is anybody saying that's it? Like, cancel this guy, that's it, no more shows, no more nothing? No, but I think it's pretty okay. I think it's okay to put a little blame on that aspect.
Or like kind of encouraging this like reckless behavior, I guess, from his fans. Like, go hard, I don't know, like fucking rage, whatever. Da, da, da. Do you think that he holds any responsibility for that kind of encouragement of behavior?
Not necessarily, unless we want to be super retroactive with it, because I could find you literally 100 concerts by rappers that say the exact same thing. Youngboy has done that shit before.
Well, maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe that's not a good thing, though.
Yeah, I agree it's not a good thing, but I don't think that he deserves any excess moral blame that
what does that
any
mean?
of those other people wouldn't
get.
What
do you mean by that? Excess moral blame?
Yeah, because of the outcome.
How does one have excess moral blame?
Sure, yeah, but I would say that like in general,
somebody in chat have an idea what that fucking means? Because I have absolutely zero clue what that means. Excess moral blame? So by saying he deserves, so he has some moral blame, just not the excess of it? Because excess moral blame is implying that he already had some moral blame on him, and we're piling on excess blame to him. That's what I'm hearing. It's like when you say, I could care less. Well, you could care less. It means you could. Means you still have room to go, right? You still care at least a little bit. So
this criticism across the board, you know, and say like part of having a concert is you're responsible for making sure that like, you know, you're encouraging responsible. It's like if I go to if I'm an artist and I'm like, yeah, fellas out there, grab all the girls' asses. It's like, okay, I have responsibility here.
yeah, it sounds like he's saying because other rappers did what Travis did and didn't get as much blowback as he's getting now, then it's not, then we shouldn't be placing, he shouldn't either. Yeah, but that's silly. Like, that's really dumb. Like, if other kids have lied in my kid's classroom, but my kid lies and like somebody kind of gets hurt, but it's not really his fault, but like the lie definitely didn't help the situation, should I still hold my kid responsible? Yeah. Right? Like, I should still hold my kid to the fact he lied, right? It does. It sounds absolutely silly. Well, others didn't get caught breaking those windows. Why am I getting caught breaking? Why am I getting punished for breaking these windows? Huh?
So I would hold the
Doesn't mean
artist
it's
a little
good.
bit responsible in that situation and say, no, you're fucking encouraging sexual assault at your concert. In the same way, in this case, I would say you're encouraging rioting and raging behavior in an unsafe manner that like this was like inevitable that this kind of thing would happen. And I think we can hold him a little bit, at least from a rhetoric point of view, responsible for that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, those are my two things. And like, yeah, I guess I just don't see how, like, I'm not saying they should have stopped the show full stop, but yeah, like when you see sirens in a crowd that are like unable to maneuver the crowd, I think you should pause at the very least and bring attention to it.
I don't disagree with that. There should have been a pause.
But you're saying that, yeah, like that was not the
I think
instruction he was given.
Well, no, what I'm saying is like there's we just don't know. And him, I don't think it's fair to say even.
But that doesn't matter because like, and now, but the thing is like, Heem's original position is he should have paused. He should have allowed the ambulance to come through, right? And it sounded like Ahrelevant was kind of against that, but now it kind of sounds like, yeah, Ahrelevant's like, yeah, I think you should have paused. Stop. He means cancel the show. Yeah. I don't even think Heem has said cancel the show. Yeah, I haven't even heard Heem say cancel the show. He's only said pause. And that's the thing is like, most concerts, and the concerts that I've been to have definitely had breaks. Has Heem said stop the show? Oh, okay. Oh, so they're using stop the show in two different, I see. Heem is using stop the show as in pause, and Ahrelevant is using stop the show as in like, that's it, show's over for the night. Which is probably also what the Houston people, or the Houston like police and fire were probably thinking, stop the show. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Duber.
Probably beyond, I couldn't even imagine. I could even imagine that if like security said like don't pause the show or whatever, but like he could presume some kind of moral blame for that shit. For not pausing for.
Oh shit! Did that just hit the corner?
He could presume some kind of moral.
Oh yeah! So close.
Shit, for not pausing for and saying at the very least clear the way for the ambulance. I think that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, definitely semantics. Yeah.
But the level at which people are talking about this makes it seem like he should have paused the show.
Okay. I hate this. I hate this in every fucking conversation, and it drives me fucking nuts. And I'm guilty for it too. So I'm gonna take a little bit of moral blame for this one as well. When you're having these fucking conversations, fuck off with what other people are saying. I fucking hate it. Okay? You wanna know how to really get under my skin is when I'm having a conversation with you, person to person, and you're not addressing what I am saying, and instead you're drawing around to like what other people are saying. Fuck off with that. You are having a conversation with me. We are talking. I don't care what some dumb fuck on Twitter said, okay? Irrelevant. I don't care what somebody on Reddit is saying. Fucking irrelevant. No. Fuck you, okay? I will never defend Australia, okay? Canada, separate for life. And I understand that probably is part of it, but then address that on your stream, right? It's relevant. It's just, if you want to talk about the shit, talk about the shit separate from this conversation, right? Because that's what ends up making bad conversations, right? Is you're trying to put out all the fires that are going on the internet with this conversation when you need to focus on this like singular one. Because at the end of the day, people will take this and then like spread it to other places, right? Well, how did this conversation go? Okay, well, they were talking about this point, they were addressing this point, and it goes away, because I notice it a lot of times. We'll be having a conversation, we'll be talking about something. It's like, well, so-and-so went over here, something was over, they were saying this on Reddit, they were saying this on Twitter. I'm not fucking saying any of that. Talk to me like I'm a human, right? Remember, I know we're staring at a camera. If you got to put like a little face or something, maybe a Bob Ross face on your fucking camera, oh, you're gonna miss it all, dude. You're getting it back and be done, and I'll just be in fucking tears. I'll be like, oh my god, it was so beautiful. That's honestly 100% what's gonna happen. Hey, that's what happens. Okay, you gotta go beat your meat in the bathroom. Okay, this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna miss it all. Okay.
When the dude who's like passed out was being like crowd surfed the way through, people are acting like he has like X-ray specs.
No, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Like you can't see individual transactions in the crowd and stuff.
You can't see somebody laying on the ground, surrounded by 6 foot tall people.
It's getting all relevant.
Right. My take is just about the ambulance, because you can see that he can see the sirens from like there's a shot from behind him that you can see.
Yeah, where he literally points it out. Or well, presumably points it out. There's pretty unlikely that he wouldn't.
Anyways, that's
so
my
I don't
rant.
disagree with that. Like the clearing the path and stuff like that, sure. But yeah, I don't know. That's where I would limit my criticism. I'm not saying Travis Scott has no moral culpability in this at all, but the scope of which people are going at Travis Scott seems far greater and entirely post-hoc rationalized in comparison to
I think sorry, just 1 second, I just got a gifted sub. Thank you so much, Nightmare Shiro. Okay, yeah, I mean, I think I agree. I think a lot of the responsibility should fall on the organizers. Obviously, someone makes a good point in my chat and says that like there was apparently 10K over capacity.
Yeah.
They should have not had the show at all then.
Well, I mean, to my knowledge, that occurred due to people breaking in.
Yeah, so I'm saying maybe at that point.
I'm actually curious, how many concerts go over capacity? I don't even know if there'd be a stat on that. Because I'd be curious. Queens was insane, yeah. Let's see. Do concerts usually go over capacity? Why limited capacity concerts just don't make sense? Oh, that's just why it's not economically feasible. Well, let's see. Travis Scott. Oh, the Queens one? Yeah, I can't find a stat if how often concerts are over capacity, but I would wager that a lot of these kind of festival ones would be very much prone to being over capacity, just from people sneaking in, people like swapping out wristbands and stuff, or the little lanyards to get in. I mean, as much as you have like security protocols, people find ways to skirt around them all the time.
Point that like you just cancel it. Like, listen, if people are breaking in, then like the show is off to a shitty. It's like the Rust shooting situation. It's like if there's all kinds of logistical situations that are failing on the lead up, then is there some level of responsibility? I guess I don't know who that would fall on.
Aren't tons of, well, first off, the venue was not overbooked. The venue could have accommodated 4 times as many people as were there.
Right, it was outdoor one, right?
Yeah. The issue was not space. Right, they had
a friend. Oh, what kind of friend, Tuber? Yeah. Well, yeah. That's literally. Yeah, you literally just missed me saying that. I said like I assume. Yeah, I would assume that most festivals are over capacity to some degree, between people sneaking in, swapping bracelets, swapping lanyards, just generally breaking in. My guess is that most festivals are quote unquote over capacity, right? The over capacity thing of like people, well, they could hold 40,000 more. It could be that the area isn't set up for that, right? I don't know if it was the full area or if it's like, here's the size of the park, but we condensed it to hold this much instead. So, yeah. Yeah.
So why are the people saying that it was at 10,000 over, or just over the tickets
It's
sold?
10,000 over what they were responsible, what they reasonably thought they could handle given the staff and what have you. I'm assuming. So, like, based on what I saw, right? That's what they were ready to accommodate, right? That's what they had the medical staff, security staff, and all of that stuff to accommodate.
10K people is a lot of fucking people. Good Lord, that is a lot of fucking people.
Right? That's what they wanted for their audience. The venue, at least according to the New York Times, could handle.
Thank you so much for the gifted side, Philo.
Yeah,
True.
So it could have handled a lot more people.
Someone in my chat wants to know if you think the victims should be able to sue Travis and or the organizers for encouraging this behavior and not taking the necessary steps.
So it depends. Apparently, Travis owns the organizing company. If he has, if he's not in control, actually, if it's just like in name only, it would depend to me. But I'm not sure how the legality would work there. Like morally speaking, could they hold him like legally? It's a weird question. Would I object to morally because I'm not a lawyer? Would I object morally to that? If somebody's just a sponsor in name only, I wouldn't be down like with them being sued for the event, but their company being sued for.
You know what a pet peeve of mine after you said forcing people to answer the stuff they haven't said, CC? What's your pet peeve, Duber? When fucking streamers read points from their channel. Yeah, true. You know what, Duber? Yeah, 100%. That goes back to that. If you're having a conversation with somebody, and I did this with, and I'll point out something I fucked up a while back, which everybody's forgotten. You know, all 10-second memories. When I had my conversation with Crowdsource Politics, Ali made a point in chat, and I addressed it, and I shouldn't have because I didn't know enough about it to address that, to bring that up as a point, and I actually do regret that. Once again, when you're having a conversation with somebody and you're talking person to person, like just single, ignore the chat. Okay, sorry, chat. At that point, you become irrelevant. Relevant. It does lead to bad conversations. I 100% agree with you. Address that shit after. If you don't think of the question yourself, it's not organic. Leave it alone. Ignore your chat. Okay, because guaranteed that person's going to pop up with another question, and you're going to and then what ends up happening is you're like a mediator between a stream chatter and the person you're chatting with. Don't do that. That's bad etiquette. Okay, it'd be like it's almost like a game of fucking telephone, right? That person then might be malding in chat because maybe they're not understanding, not getting their questions answered because it's not the way that they would phrase it, right? Because like maybe you skip something. Just don't do it. Just ignore chat. Okay. Somebody subs, whatever, say thank you, move on. Yeah, that too, right? You're looking for these like cheap, and you're not, it shows that you're not paying attention, right? Because you're not listening to what the other person is saying because you're already focused on chat once. So what are the chances that you're going to focus on chat again while they're speaking, right? It's probably very high, right? So it's going to make me frustrated. It's going to make you frustrated, right? Just don't do it. I had an excellent point, Duber. Absolutely 100% agree with you.
For the event, if that makes sense. And then they would be obviously liable to pay for those damages. So if that's the answer, then yes. But personally sued, not necessarily. No, I don't think.
Yes, all my points are excellent.
Yeah. I think I kind of agree. I think that like a lot of it can be besides the the legality. I think hopefully this can kind of change the culture around concerts in general. I've been in situations like this. I went to a Kendrick Lamar concert once before he was like huge, and because I live in Toronto, Drake showed up, and as soon as Drake like stepped onto the stage, bro, same thing happened.
Also, another thing, if you're worried that you don't have the staff, why not just make the festival go longer? We clearly they haven't played for almost like a year and a bit. Why not just make it a little more exclusive? People would like it. People would get out of the house. You wouldn't be as crowded, and you could still have more people cycle through. There's obviously more people. Like I've never understood that, right? Like, yeah, or add more shows. Like add more days, add more shows, add more things for people to come see. Like really, because like reading this story, I'm like half reading this. I'm doing a taboo. I'm half reading this Rolling Stones thing, and it's like, well, Digby said the concert industry can't afford any more blows. Then find a different way to make it money. Right? You might not make as much, but you still, instead of bringing in 40,000 people, bring in 30, right? And I understand that, right? I don't know. Have another side venue, for like $10 tickets, right? Where it's just they get to see the screen. They don't get to see it. Then they can still enjoy the concert, right? Still see what's going on, but they're in like call it nosebleeds, right? You're out in the parking lot, but I guess you still need like security for that. But you can even do that if you can handle 40,000 people. Do 30,000 inside, 10,000 outside, and then you're gonna have like in and outer peoples. And then just expect between the two areas you're gonna have like 5,000 to 10,000 extra people. So I don't know. It feels like there's better ways. Like I don't know. I guess honestly, yeah, I'm kind of with you. The easiest solution seems to be add more fucking days.
It's like
just make it free. We're communists now. It's not my show. It's our show.
Liquid moving, where like all of a sudden you're pushed forward like 50 feet and then to the right and then to the left, and at that moment you literally feel like you're not in control. Like anything can happen and you're completely helpless to it. And yeah, I mean, it's a surprise that shit like this doesn't happen more often, honestly. But yeah, I guess
I don't disagree with you on that.
Yeah, I guess I still think that he should have paused it when he sees it. But I guess if you're saying that maybe he was told specifically not to, then
I have no idea.
That's an option, a possibility. Yeah,
that's definitely a possibility.
We should consider that. Yeah.
But just to be clear,
speculate everything.
Stopping. I think he, almost regardless of circumstance, should have paused and said, "Make way for the ambulance."
Oh, okay, perfect.
I couldn't fathom a reality where.
Okay, well then they're in agreement. What the fuck, guys? This was like a crazy conversation. I was under the impression there better be some fucking yelling later. Okay.
Like even if the security team told you to, like, why? How?
Yeah.
I don't
like
know.
how did it exactly? Yeah.
Yeah, that's just so fucking weird. Stopping the whole thing makes sense why you wouldn't necessarily want to do that. Well, there's like a bunch of people trying to like that you can't even perceive. There's like 50 bodies or 50 people trying to be extracted out of the crowd. You can't see half of them, so you couldn't even point out, hey, over there in this quadrant, over there in this quadrant, and make way. You would just say, hey, the concert's over.
You know, I'll give it to Heem. He didn't make a body hit the floor joke, so good for him.
And then people just start pushing through, and then now these people have a lot harder of a time trying to extract these people, and it could have been an even greater like number of people either having casualties or potentially fatally dying.
So just one last thing before.
Oh my god, a round of who will win in the middle. I honestly expected at some point, Duber. Okay, we were told Mr. Heem was edgy. All right, we're gonna pause the video for a second. Rip. Sorry, buddy. Them the rules.
Do you think that like
I don't make the rules, I just enforce them.
They were over capacity. You said it wasn't the space, it was the staff.
Well, at least the venue.
Yeah.
The venue seems to have been able to accommodate 4 times as many people. But to my knowledge, usually that's at least to my knowledge how venues usually operate. It's based on the staff that they have to be able to accommodate for this thing, right? Whether it be fire staff and nearby EMTs or security staff to be able to control it if it gets out of hand, right? It's usually how they base how many people should be in a venue at any given time. Is their ability.
I look forward to the Wicked Supreme call-in.
But I guess that my thing would be like, I would say then like you should just not have the concert like, if you're understaffed.
That dubs time no bars for 1 second.
You're putting yourself up for so much fucking
abusing that mod power.
There.
Well, yeah. So the issue is whether or not they became overstaffed during the concert when people break in, or they oversold tickets.
Rip.
Right. That's.
Oh, I think a lot of it has to do with people rushing in and stuff as well. Like perhaps that didn't.
So
but I don't know. It's really tough. It seems like it was irresponsibly done at the very least.
So if you wanted to make the argument that when people were
too.
breaking in, they should
oh my god, he's mad with power.
Yeah.
I just think that there would be a fuck ton of concerts that would
go
be
in different languages.
Like that. I think probably a greater call would be greater security at the entrances to these concerts.
Sure.
I think this is more of a moral condemnation of honestly the fans, like the logistics of being able to make sure that no.
Yes, I agree. But it seems like the Travis Scott concert experience kind of feeds into that fan kind of mentality. So I think Travis Scott's fans are doing exactly what Travis Scott would expect out of them.
Ever enters an event.
I've become what I despise most. It's the power, man.
Being able to is really tough
right
unless you play it like a fucking stadium and you have.
You need your own
this problem even
ego crusher
during like fucking Super Bowl,
Pars.
World Series, and shit like this.
You timed
It's-
out your
it's
ego
very
pressure.
difficult to prevent people from overcrowding in these places or what have
Just
you.
the only difference is
What about
Pars
this?
was
Someone in my chat
shaking-
who is
no,
a really
stop.
fucking big zoomer into
No.
pop culture shits. I don't know much about pop culture shits. Says Travis encouraged people to break into the concert. He posted that on his Instagram, telling people if they can't afford to jump the fence.
Do you have a link to that?
Do you have a link to that?
Why? Okay, first off, does Heem have 2 chats going? Is I take it one of these is his Heem chat and the other one is the Twitch chat. You got to drop this box down because it cuts off fucking lines.
So also, I would put that again in the same arena as all the other people who did that. I would
Imagine having enough people to have 2 chats.
Wait, artists
Couldn't even
do this?
can't even relate.
I don't think I've seen artists say jump over the fence.
I've seen plenty of rappers do it.
That's
Well,
what I'm sorry,
listen,
Lord
I
Southern
think then
dissented
they
last
should
few,
fucking
like,
be held responsible
true.
for that.
True. Pars did say Alaska.
I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
What I'm saying is Travis Scott should not be uniquely held responsible. Let's assume that. Let's start with assuming that what I just.
Okay. Okay. I got a big problem here. So, do you remember a little while back we were criticizing, and I understand it's not the exact same because there are artists that are at the same level as probably Travis Scott. But it is kind of a little bit funny that we were arguing, that Ahrelevant was arguing a little while back, that we could hold Hassan to a certain standard from other people because he was in a unique situation. I would argue that you could do the same thing with Travis Scott because he was also in a unique situation where ambulances are literally driving through the crowd in front of him. I just wanted to alert everybody to the little bit of irony on that I'm saying.
Is accurate, and that other rappers do it. I don't think Travis Scott should be held uniquely responsible, and given the result of the circumstance, right? I don't think he should be held uniquely responsible. We shouldn't post hoc rationalize.
I mean, I guess it's okay. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you
Do
would.
think
You
that
would,
if someone who
Sam, wouldn't you?
drinks and drives, right?
Yep.
If they kill someone,
Wouldn't expect
they're
anything
held
less
more
from a
responsible than
comrade.
if they just get caught drinking and driving, or if they get home without even getting caught.
Yeah, I'm perfectly down with a world that we blame people for drinking and driving at the same level, whether they commit.
Oh, welcome first time chatter for 15 minutes minus. Yeah, there's also been a lot of other big artists who have stopped shows when they notice stuff going down. Yeah, so if we're noticing that is a good thing that those artists are doing, and we would say this is a good thing, it's probably a good thing. Like, we should be holding him to that standard of when he sees something happening, he should take action. So,
In an accident or not.
Okay, gotcha.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
So
a lot
you,
of
but
gulag
you think that
talk
if they
down
do
there.
commit the accident and someone
So
dies,
don't send
that they should
anybody
get
to
additional,
re-education camps, okay?
You know,
I'm fine with the world where we treat people who
Just put 'em in
commit
a
car
Twitter
accidents who
echo
drinking
chamber,
and
they'll be
driving
fine.
at the same level as the people who are drinking and driving. If the level, it depends on the level that we argue is the meets the merits for DUI. If we argue that the merit or the level of blood toxic or blood
yeah, like whatever, yeah.
levels,
We
yeah.
meet some threshold, yeah.
Yeah. It's and it depends on that threshold. Like if your threshold is just a little bit of a buzz, maybe not. Then you know you're still capable of critical motor skills and shit like that. You're able to control the vehicle at least to a decent degree or what have you. But like if it,
Yes, I do condemn gulags. So without Ahrelevant saying like, oh, well, if it's a little bit above, that's why we don't go off how a person feels, but rather what their blood alcohol level is, right? And to some degree, we kind of take both into account, right? You might have somebody that drinks a single beer and can't walk fucking straight. There are people, maybe they have alcohol intolerance, whatever. And you'll have other people, like my father, who will sit there and fucking drink Ryan Cokes like they're fucking water and walk straight fucking line. Okay. Oh, really? Oh, really? He advocates for that? Nope. Nope, I don't care. Yeah, 100%. I don't. If you're too tired, you're intoxicated. If you have alcohol in your system, arguably to the even sometimes under the 0.8 to the point where you can't function properly, and then above obviously the 0.08, you are intoxicated and shouldn't be driving. You smoke a joint, the minute you smoke that joint, you are intoxicated and should not be driving. That like vehicles, I hate how people fuck around with vehicles as much as they do. Yeah, fuck that shit. If you are intoxicated in any capacity, please do not drive. That is not something to fuck around with. Okay? If you are too tired, pull over, take a 15-minute nap, and then continue on your way. Okay? Yeah, and that's the way they did it in Canada. Boom, no weed. No weed in your system, you don't drive. Honestly, personally, I think it should be with even alcohol. I think regardless of to what level it affects you until you get to that point 8, I just don't think it should be in. I think people have a hard enough time driving while they're fucking sober. I don't think adding like intoxicants to the mix and all that other shit is just bad juju, man. We don't need it. Yeah. 0.05, yeah. I think 0.05 here can get like not your license taken away and charged with a DUI, but I believe, man, I have to look it up. It's been a long time. Because I don't fuck with that shit. Even if the wife and I go out for like dinner, whichever one is drinking is the one that doesn't get to have the keys. Doesn't matter if it's like one beer. I don't like it. Yeah, it's still 0.8. Now, I know what they did change here is they can get you. So one of the biggest things was one of the defenses where you could like be driving drunk, go to your house, go inside before the cops could get you and quote unquote like drink, right? Like you're already drunk, but you suck back like another like half a bottle of vodka and say, no, I wasn't driving drunk. I'm drunk now, right? You can't do anything about it because you can't prove that I was drunk in the car because I've consumed alcohol now. Now they've changed it where there's like a 2-hour window where if you're still above a certain point after operating that vehicle, you can have issues. They can still charge you. So, and then 0.5 is like you can get a warning. So, yeah. But I believe they had to have suspicion that you were using the vehicle though after those 2 hours. I don't think I've seen anybody charged where it's like you went home, had a beer, and then they charged you. Well, generally somebody has to call in and actually see you driving. Right, because if you're all of a sudden at your house and they knock on your door and they're like, we're going to test you, we just saw you got home. Because then you don't have probable cause, because why are you there checking if somebody's drunk, right? Yeah, the program applies when law enforcement has reasonable ground to believe a driver has operated a motor vehicle while their ability to do so was impaired to any degree by alcohol or drug, or a combination of alcohol and drug. It's not just they're going to show up to your house, because that was everybody's fears, and I haven't seen a news story that even remotely had that come up. So just
it's like near blackout drunk level. I don't think that I think anybody who's driving your car, you're getting fucking lucky if you're not T-boning the fuck out of a mini.
Well, because I don't think it would go through, right? Because nobody's going to do that, because then you literally don't have probable grounds, right? Because if you're just all of a sudden like, oh, we saw you driving your vehicle, you went inside, we went and knocked on the door, and now we're going to test you. Well, first of all, you could test, right? Because like if you're not, it's not even as hard, it's literally impossible, right? Because you would need somebody to like be able to confirm that you were operating that vehicle, right? If a cop just walks up to your house and be like, yeah, I have a reasonable suspicion you were operating that vehicle. Cool. How do you know that? Did you see me operate it? Nope. Do you have somebody else to witness that you saw me operating that? Well, no. Well then, okay, good luck. Right? Because is that reasonable suspicion of, because that's the first part of it, right? This program applies when law enforcement has reasonable grounds to believe that a driver has operated a motor vehicle while their ability to do so was impaired. So that reasonable suspicion that you were already on alcohol is it needs to be there, right? Like you were swerving all over the road. Somebody called, because the issue is, right? And I've called in a few myself where you see somebody swerving all over the fucking road, right? It's clear that person is intoxicated. They can't keep within the lines. Their speed goes up. Their speed goes down. They've almost hit the ditch. They've almost hit other drivers as they're driving. Right? But the issue is they would get home before the cops could do anything about it. And you can't charge that person, right? You can't do anything. You can't investigate because there's no continuity there, right? This gives a little bit more of a power to be like, okay, this guy made it home where we've just caught up to him. It's been like 20 minutes. Now we can investigate, right? Because if you have, like, let's say they get to your house, right? 20 minutes after getting the call and you're at home, right? And your blood alcohol level is like 0.9 or 0.8 or 0.85, there's a very good chance that in the last even like 20 minutes, you probably didn't just all of a sudden suck back a fucking gallon of alcohol, right? Or like a couple of shots or a couple of, double fingers, right? Or the beers that it would take to get up to that. It's probably you've been drinking for a while and it's been in your system for at least an hour, right? That's why that 2-hour mark, right? It's usually a beer an hour or a shot an hour, right? So it's just for the typical person. Obviously, some people metabolize a little bit faster, a little bit slower, but on average, right? That's why that 2-hour window kind of exists. So,
That.
Sure.
So yeah, I would put them in a similar or the same level.
Okay.
and listen, with family members, yeah, I think that's like, if there's very like murder, touching kids, hurting kids, and drinking, driving are some of the worst things, in my opinion, that you can do. My uncle had 7 DUIs, spent time in prison for it. He finally learned his lesson. You are extremely lucky. Not that you're not dead, not that you didn't kill somebody, right? If you're drinking, driving, you flip your car and you die, sucks for you. That's rip. You're drinking and driving and you kill like a car full of kids or a family, you're just absolute trash, right? Like you're bottom of the barrel. So, yeah. Like there's been a few on the highway that we drive to, and it always worries me. My wife drives at night, right? I've driven at night, and it is legitimately something that worries me because I know that there's been quite a few accidents on the highway that I drive, for people drinking and driving. When honestly, there's no good excuse for it at all. Zero, zip. And it angers me because working in construction, it angers me a lot to hear guys joke about it. Like, my blood fucking boils. You know, it's just so, I don't know. Yeah. Well, yeah, absolutely. As it should any human being. Right? Even if it was a mistake. So, yeah, it can be, that's rough. I'm sorry, your grandpa.
The tweet. This is in a now deleted tweet.
Hopefully
Travis
he's doing
Scott was
okay.
encouraging excess people to sneak in after tickets for
So
Astro. Go ahead.
I did see one tweet
Yeah.
that was 6 months ago.
Yeah, from May. Yeah.
Wait, your grandpa did, or your grandpa got hit by a motorcycle? Oh, you got hit by a motorcycle. Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah. I know a, that's my biggest fear too. Suns in your eyes, you fucking, yeah. No, and that'd be hard because that's an accident, right? It's literally mistake. You couldn't see the kid, darted out, ran out, got hit, and that is just, yeah, that'll live with you for the rest of your life. I know a concrete driver. He ran over a guy in one of those those little mobile scooters that people use, like people with disabilities use. He didn't see the guy. The guy kind of went. I went into the crosswalk, I think, when he wasn't supposed to be crossing. Squished him. Absolutely fucking flattened him. And that driver said he will never drive again. To go to therapy sessions, somebody needs to drive him, and he is just he's anxious the entire time. And I don't blame him. I would have a hard time getting behind the wheel again, if something like that was to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
But then here's a couple other things. It says Travis's shows are notorious for the rage atmosphere he actively curates. With his reckless atmosphere, however, often comes some danger. At a show in Arkansas in 2017, Travis was arrested for inciting a riot and endangering the welfare of a minor. The most elevated seats in the stadium are called the nosebleed seats. His fans jump from the nosebleeds and injure themselves, causing literal nosebleeds. This might be a reference to his recent show in New York City, where a fan was pushed off a 3-story balcony and was paralyzed.
Jesus.
So
I don't know how unique many of these cases are because I'm assuming you never heard of this.
Oh, sorry, bro.
any
Just
of those
give me 1 second. My fiance is
yeah.
leaving for work. Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah, go for it.
Wow. Stop the show for your SO. Unreal.
Can Heem's chat hear me? Hi, white people happy.
Sounded like you said white people happy. Not white people happy.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. What were you saying?
Fucking rights.
Is your chat spamming white people happy? This is incredibly important information.
Friend of mine killed a deputy son. Oh, we'll see you later, comrade Messiah. You take care, okay? Look after yourself. Friend of mine killed a deputy son while drunk and high on the 50 different drugs and driving. Jesus. Jesus. Damn. There's oh fuck, when was it? Couple months back. Couple months? Year now? Shit, maybe even a year now. Same kind of thing kind of happened. Guy was drunk. Cross, because we have like I don't know what you call it in the States, but it's like dual lane highways going both ways. So there's like 2 lanes going the same direction on one side, a green space with like a culvert, a ditch, and then the lanes obviously going the other way. Well, buddy, and it's a good distance between. It's like probably 5-6 car lengths between, easily, like sideways car lengths between the two, if not more. Buddy drove through the ditch, up, back to the other side, and drove down the fucking highway for quite some time before, like, smashing into an SUV filled with, like, a bunch of teenagers, and obviously ended up, like, I don't believe any of them survived. And I was just like, that's why I just, that shit, no bueno. No bueno at all.
One person is. Someone said hello.
Oh,
Hey, Rally.
Sag.
Oh, we got a couple more. There we go. Now they're rolling in.
White people happies.
All right, so I'd have to. So I'm assuming you only heard of this like excess situations, these other situations with Travis Scott only a couple
Now,
times.
yeah, I just heard them now.
And so it wouldn't surprise me if we look at other people whose concerts have similar outcomes. I wouldn't know though. So with the unique rage atmosphere, the same arguments have been made against metal like concerts. Metal concerts used to be hard as fuck. Rock concerts used to be hard, right? And they could be able to manage it. I don't think the rage itself is the problem. The rage plus perhaps a lackluster security or lackluster maybe even
and it can
like,
be
a participation
multiple
from the singer
things
themselves, because at some of these concerts, these rock concerts and what have you, counter to what people believe about like the mosh pits and shit, they do sometimes have like the singer or whatever trying to keep that shit tame.
Yeah, I've seen. We just saw. We're watching Linkin Park do it, and yeah.
And so yeah, there's the atmosphere of rage, but also like, hey, let's not actually rage.
Sure.
Right? And so you could argue that perhaps he wasn't participating. I just need more evidence than just, a tweet or something.
Sure. What do you think of? I was comparing it similar to Twitch communities. What do you think of that? Like where some people are, police their chats very hard and have a chill expectation from their chatters, and other
guys
people
better
are
be chill in
completely
chat.
okay with, like,
Okay,
chaos
no being
in their
fucking
chat.
all
I think
angry.
It's kind of like you set
No
your
angry
fans'
here.
expectations. I think.
Potentially.
Better
I
be
just
happy.
don't know. I don't have like a case to like case by case to look at where it's like this is, we have the individual clips like you referenced Linkin Park clip or what have you, but I haven't heard rhetoric or anything like that from Linkin Park that is like unique to keeping it tame or what have you. Like there's some like X's
Well, I would say the rhetoric would be like to pause it when it happens and address it.
Yeah, sure.
So when you don't do that, at like a previous concert when there's someone was pushed off the top, when you don't do that at your concerts in general, you're basically there's like an underlying brewing nature that can combust at any moment, and then
I don't know.
Shit festers. I honestly don't get Relly's point either, because it's like, well, these other places have like rage stuff and things didn't happen, but it's like, yes, but this situation obviously popped off, right? We already know they're lacking like, we already kind of maybe alluding to they didn't quite have the staff. We're already alluding to the fact that people were rushing in. There's kind of this kind of like fuck the man, let's rage kind of like atmosphere. We know people were like pushing, people were very closely tight. We know that people were having issues, and we have like a unique situation where like an ambulance, a medical vehicle of some sort is driving into the crowd. Well, I don't know. I don't know 15-minute Midas. I honestly don't, because earlier in the conversation, Relly did say that like, well, we shouldn't have excess moral baggage on Travis Scott, implying that he does have some moral culpability to some degree. But I don't know. I think Relly's position is like, we're waiting for more information to come out until we can precisely put the blame on it. but they've even agreed still at some point that we can still hold Travis Scott somewhat to task for not pausing the show when he saw the ambulance. All right, take care. Take care, Pars. Thanks, Pars. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you. We'll see you soon as well.
Maybe I just don't. I would need to look at the mentality of concert goers because, I mean, even if this was the case, he did pause the concert earlier than any of this happening. A lot of this happening to be able to get one of those people help. And I guess if what you're saying is the type of people that go to his concerts know that he doesn't pause a concert when people are injured, like I don't know. I don't know if that actually tracks. Like I don't know how if the problem of people getting injured is so widespread that most of the concert goers know that he won't pause the concert if I like crack somebody's head open with a tire iron. You know, like I don't really know.
But it doesn't have to be that bad. It wasn't that bad, really. Like, people were still... Like, why does it have to get to the situation where somebody's cracking other people with a fucking tire iron when you still have people, like, suffocating and needing medical attention, like, clear medical attention, and you have a clear medical staff coming through? Like, it doesn't need to get to that point.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I think, yeah, I guess we agree, like, which is the biggest thing that I have an issue with is that, you know, he didn't pause it for a second to let the ambulance when he saw the sirens.
Yeah,
the
ambulance.
The individuals in the crowd, I think it's hard to expect people to, you know, be able to.
And that's the thing is we shouldn't, right? They're enthralled. They're caught up in the experience. The music is going. Maybe they're on drugs. Maybe they're a little drunk. They're enjoying themselves. People at the best of the times are not always like super focused, aware of their surroundings, right? It's a big people problem. But regardless of all that, okay, you can still say that like if the influencer themselves sees something going on, much like in my chat, if I see something going on that I don't like, it is still my responsibility to be like, hey guys, I don't like this. We had this situation the other day. I literally banned somebody because they were engaging in a conversation in a way that I did not like, that I thought was super disrespectful, and I banned that person, right? And it didn't matter that that was the way they communicated, right? Didn't matter that they were telling, like, they were getting heated. That's the way they get heated. It does not matter to me. I don't like it. I have a certain like atmosphere that I want to have in my stream. They're very, very lackadaisical. We're here to enjoy the videos. We're here to enjoy games. We're here to have fun. It's a great way for me to unwind, right? Kind of get my thoughts of the day, you know, burn a little bit of excess energy. I don't need people being all angry in my chat. You want to be angry in a chat? Go fucking somewhere else. Okay? I don't need that shit. Got enough anger everywhere else in life. I don't need it. Yeah, and that was kind of Heem's whole point from the beginning, and they agree on that. So
he doesn't have X-ray vision and shit.
Yeah.
So I guess, and I think the majority of the blame should fall on the organizers, whether that's him or not. This is ending up being very similar to the Rust thing.
Alec Baldwin, yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say it's very similar to Alec Baldwin's situation in a lot of cases, though, where it's like there's people that I feel like there's a lot of people throwing shit out there without actually looking at any of the information as well.
Sure.
But the
what do you think about the all ages thing? Can I ask you?
The all ages.
The concert was all ages.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I guess if you like are under heavy supervision, maybe, but like I wouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like, so the youngest person that died was 10 years old, I think.
Oh, were they dead? I thought the youngest person who was injured, like, and had to be hospitalized.
No,
was
I
10.
think if someone in chat was saying that it was 10, they
let's see. Youngest person injured. Travis Scott concert. A day later, by authorities, which included 2 high school students, aged 14 and 16, were the youngest victims in the incident, a freshman at Memorial High. Yeah, the youngest killed at Travis Scott Astroworld concert was just 14 years old. Oof. Damn. Oh, and then a 9-year-old, it looks like, was trampled. So he's fighting for his life. He hasn't died yet. Updated. Oh, updated. Let's see. So it looks like he is on a ventilator. Jesus, that's super young. Oh, what? Jesus Christ. The boy's aunt said he was an outgoing performer. Photos shared their family showed Erzero and Trenson at the festival before the chaos that led to the deaths of 8 young people. Trenson said he was carrying Azar on his shoulders when the crowd began to surge towards the stage during Scott's performance. I began to be crushed until I couldn't breathe. I passed out, and I woke up and my son was gone. Jesus Christ! The frantic family called hospitals until they found him. Texas Children's Hospital listed him as John Doe because they hadn't been able to identify him. Oh my God. Based on his industry, trust believes his son was trampled by the crowd. Jesus Christ. I have no... Oh my God. That's fucked up. Damn, 9 years old. Well, I hope he pulls through. Man, I couldn't imagine. You're with your son, you're enjoying the concert. You're starting to not be able to breathe, you pass out, wake up, and your kid's just gone. Holy shit.
Let me see.
Yeah, I was about to cover this. Walt Disney inside of my chat. Security guard allegedly got drugged via syringes in the neck at the concert.
Yeah, I'm hearing this one as well.
Yeah, did you see that? It's like wild. We'll see how that develops, but it seems like if that happened, that's pretty fucking weak.
I haven't read up on much of that yet.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Well, something else that I think is pretty interesting that nobody's talking about is I wonder what the anti-cop, anti-security mentality has to do with this situation as well. That might have stemmed from something like that, because the anti-cop, anti-security. If we had more security officers in that crowd, it might have been like it almost certainly would have been better because less people probably would have had the opportunity to break in the first.
The guard getting hit by needles. Yeah, I haven't read into it at all.
First place, because at least several
I wouldn't
videos
even begin
showing
to
where
speculate on
points
that
of
one.
entry had been made by concert, or were later peeled off or like blocked up by police and shit like that. So I'm just wondering if like any anti-security, anti-cop mentalities that we might have.
I don't know. I think everyone has anti-cop, anti-security mentality at a concert. Like it's.
Well, no, yeah, I do. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree that that's probably the case. But what I'm saying is like maybe that should change because with greater security.
Well, I think that I think that part of that falls on the artist. You know, like to.
That is kind of part of the music. Like, I'm gonna go listen to like Rise Against. Like, it's gonna kind of have like an anti-authority. Any punk rock, right? It's kind of like fuck the man. You know, we're doing our own thing, right? Yeah, I don't. That's kind of love for a lot of these artists. They're kind of confirm there didn't appear to be a mark, and they hit him with an Narcan preemptively, according. Oh shit! Really?
You know, give credence to the authority of the security and the police.
Yeah,
I'll have to find an article on it
has
here.
a lot of blame when it comes to the culture of the audience that listens to their content, and they're influencing them in regards to what they believe is right and wrong. I think they hold a lot of influence there. That's why I said I would be amazed if there was any reality where pausing the concert to make way for the ambulance and like calling the people who are jumping up on the ambulance losers and telling them.
Yeah, I'll put no weight in that until there's actual like, yes, this guy was like drugged, he was hit. Yeah, and anybody speculating about that shit is trash.
Them to get the fuck off wouldn't have a good effect. But the only problem that I could imagine with this is like I think there was a time in, was it 2017 or 19 or whatever, when Travis was like crowd surfing and then he hit some dude because I think it was like he's trying to steal his shoe or something.
Okay.
And he hit some dude. Like the crowd started beating the fuck out of that kid. So like if you,
because he told you, oh fuck, where. It's not that the crowd just started beating him. Hang on one second. Just stealing a shoe. No, that's not what I want. Can we just...
You know my fans.
Where is it? Yeah, right here. We're just gonna listen to it.
Get that motherfucker. Get him.
Yeah.
You tried to take my shoe? You want to be a thief? Fuck him up. Fuck him up. Fuck him up.
In a video game. Yeah, so it's not just okay. That I don't like that. That was definitely like, oh, the crowd started being about. No. Travis Scott legitly like. Even like throw shit at him. Saying to like fuck him up, fight him, throwing like spitting at him. No, fuck that. That wasn't just the crowd rally. No. I'm sorry. No, not at all. That was 100% him telling his fans to do that.
Point anybody out doing any like wrongdoing in some of these concerts.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah. So if I could show you, and again, I don't have the data on this, or I don't even know if there could be any data, but I'm sure some people will do some research on it. If I could show you that Travis Scott has a unique rhetoric when it comes to like sneak in if you can or whatever, then you would have more, responsibility for him. Because you just said you think that the culture that is in the crowd is reflective of the artist.
So if what you're saying, sorry, I'm looked at a Discord message I got. Did you say that like if you can show to me that Travis has a unique or like a unique rage mentality or unique yeah, sure, okay. Like 100%, yeah, because I think we both agree that rage mentality, without tempering it within like, hey, yeah, we can rage and party, that's what concerts are for, but like let's not
safely, But you're just saying it hasn't been demonstrated yet.
Give me a sec.
Okay,
Somebody's being a fucking moron spamming my TTS. Okay. I just, it hasn't been demonstrated yet. I just haven't been given the information. There's just a lot of people that like, I feel like just want a conclusion on this shit and just want to be able to say, yeah, this person's wrong, this person's wrong, this person's wrong. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are like, look, clearly he did this in the past, he did that in the past. It's like, you just heard of that in the first place. So like a good example is
yeah, but just because I just heard about it, that doesn't mean it's not true.
Yeah, it doesn't mean the criticisms of the time aren't true.
What it indicates is that you haven't looked for things like this before, and maybe it's more common than you think it is amongst other artists. And this is more of a systemic problem, not an individual.
It still doesn't make it right. Okay, just because other artists are doing it doesn't make it right. I don't know. I'm kind of with you. 15 minutes. I don't understand what this argument is.
And that blaming him uniquely would be just putting the blame on somebody post hoc because it went wrong this one time. You need to look into it further if it's a systemic issue that maybe we should address, and that we shouldn't be blaming this individual in the first place, right? Blaming the person.
How do you do that kind of? How do you want someone to do like an analysis of all top rappers?
Well, so like a good example I was about to bring up is during the Alec Baldwin situation, people were talking about how like uniquely terrible this shit is, and like we need to be more safe with guns and shit. But like somebody in my chat brought up all the articles about the Resident Evil series. Have you seen that shit?
No.
The Resident Evil, like, and this is what I'm talking about. The Resident Evil series has been horrendously fucking like harming their staff and shit like that. People falling from like doing stunts and falling.
Okay. When you retweet a Return of the Rage, you missed everything, man. I'm fucking tears. Where's shit? I'm out of water. Else I should have splashed him. Tears. Like there's literally a video that he retweeted, Return of the Rage, and it has people like losing their shit, like mosh pitting, crashing the gates, running past police, people being flipped over the barricades, throwing down barricades. Like, yeah, and I agree. But the thing is like, him raging is based. That's fine, but the issue is Ahrelevant was like, well, I don't know if there's like this culture of it around this specific, like these specific venues, right? And there is to some degree, which is fine. You can rage away, okay? But just, I don't know why you would downplay it. It does happen.
In fucking killing, dying, people getting permanently paralyzed, losing their arms, amputees, people getting shot. It's just horrible. We just didn't care. That's the thing. We just didn't care. Nobody cared.
But what about saying, okay, let's use the Rust situation, let's use the Travis Scott situation as a jumping point to say, okay, we're gonna start here and then like kind of widen the scope. Rather than it sounds like you're saying let's start wide. But I'm saying we can start narrow and then widen it.
No, you could start narrow, but the problem is when we look at this as an individual issue, Alec Baldwin individually did this, or Travis Scott individually did that. No, it seems like there's a systemic problem. It feels like we're blaming somebody for.
We can still criticize the animal. What is this argument? Yeah, there's like a systemic policing issue too, but we're still gonna hold like individual cops accountable. What is this? Oh my god. The bags under my eyes just got bigger.
T-boning, like in a car.
True, Duber. You figured it out, buddy. 100%. Yep. Honey. That's why everybody was mad at Alec, right? Wait, Alex. Shit, Alec Baldwin's white. So what's Alec Baldwin's excuse? Oh, right. He's a lib that hated Trump. That's right. No, fuck, you're right, Duber.
Or T-boning,
People just be jealous, envy. ContraPoints. Our queen was right.
family.
It is all
and then
envy.
killing everybody inside when we haven't regulated the use of seatbelts. And it's like, well, okay, like,
Well,
yeah,
can I
like,
make another similarity? I would say it's like let's say I say this person was drinking and driving and they killed someone.
Kitty
and then
sneezes.
you say, well, drinking and driving is a systemic issue. It's like, okay, it is, or it can be, but at the same time, this happened. So we can't
Sitting
not
back
hold
there
this person
sneezing.
responsible because
Well,
it might
the
be a
only
wider
issue is-
systemic issue.
The only issue is systemically we've decided drinking and driving is bad. I think a better analogy would
Oh, is he gonna go to the cops, please? Because that would have been.
be before we outlaw drinking and driving.
Oh, why wouldn't you bring up the police? I feel like the police would be like. I feel like the police is way better, easy, like clear cut. Because like Relly's gonna agree that there's like probably that there's. Well, okay, I'm not gonna assume. Okay, I don't want. But I'm gonna presume. Okay, I'm not assuming. Assuming makes an ass out of you and me. But I'm going to presume that Ahrelevant agrees there are some systemic issues within policing in the United States and arguably all over the world. But I don't think that Ahrelevant would ever say that we shouldn't hold individual actors that do bad things accountable, right? And my guess is he's going to agree with that, right? I think those were two points that you could have easily pushed back a little bit on that, Heemer, if you're watching. Which I know you're not because I'm not based enough. I get it.
Before drinking and driving was seen as a bad thing. If people were drinking and driving and they got in a car accident, would you blame them uniquely for that drinking and driving? Or would you say that they happen to do the same thing we've been doing for hundreds of years? Or sorry.
But I don't think that
Yeah, I
this,
would
this
still
I don't think
blame them.
that it's like that, like at concerts especially, it's pretty well established that you don't fucking rage to the point where people are like getting hurt. Like I think this has been pretty well established.
Well, I mean, what do you mean by this? Like, there are absolutely concerts where people are just like saying rage, go at it, go at it, go at it, and they just don't see the like people.
Yeah, but until the
out.
point, we're until the point where like people are getting trampled and stuff. I don't think that this is like a standard where you're saying like it's not, it hasn't been outlawed. I think it's pretty like, I think even though maybe there's, I don't know if there's like laws, but I don't think
Sorry,
you need laws
when
against it.
when I was using laws before, it was to
I forget what the exact number is, but whatever you have more than 4 bodies in a square meter, it's hazardous. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. Yeah, no shot. This is well established. The like raging is a huge part, Duber. Is that the one that you're saying? Yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen some pretty. Yeah, especially on some of the like really really hard shows. Yeah. Well, I know at at the one festival that I did go to when towards the end of the night when Green Day started playing, I know that place got fucking crazy. There was definitely a few like hard mosh pits, and even arguably at the middle of the day when we got a little bit closer to the stage, there was some like hard fucking mosh pits going on. Yeah, for sure. Density of 4 people. Do you have a link on that, or just like Mr. Wikipedia? Fuck yeah. Density of 4 people per square meters can be dangerous. I mean, I go get a tape measure and we can literally look out a fucking square meter. It's not that big, like at all. Crush often occurs during religious pilgrimages and large entertainment events. They tend to lead to dense crowds with people closely surrounded on all sides. Human stampedes and crushes can occur as people try to get away from perceived danger. In a case where noxious gas was released, while reports often talk of panic, research have found that mass panic is rare. Crushes. Control F. Oh. Bring. Bring. I'm assuming it's here, but my eyes aren't skimming. Okay, I'll read that later. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Like a square meter is not that big. A square meter is like 3 feet by 3 feet. Right, like you're yeah, because a meter is it's 3.2 feet. Which I like that's not a lot of crushing a lot of people in. Like, yeah, that'd be making me fucking super claustrophobic.
To establish a culture of it being bad. In this case, I don't think we've established a culture of it being bad.
Oh, there it is. There is a risk of crush when a crowd densely exceeds about 4 people per square meter. For a person in a crowd's a signal of danger and warning to get out of the crowd if possible is a sensation of being touched on all 4 sides. A later, more serious warning is when people feel shockwaves traveling through the crowd due to people at the back pushing forward against the people at the front with nowhere to go. That
Really?
feels
Say
so
rage,
weird.
Yeah, when we say rage, but hey, don't go out of your way to rage really hard. I think we have a really big post hoc rationality on this. And I think a really good example is nobody seems to find me any of these artists who say it prior to an instance occurring. It's always rage, and then if somebody gets hurt, oh wait, maybe we should be a little bit safe. It's never rage. And by the way, everybody should be really safe and do.
Well, yeah, because like you have an aesthetic, right? Of course not. But if you're known, like if David Grohl is known for kicking fighters out of his venues, do you think people are going to fight? More or less likely somebody's going to fight in a David Grohl concert versus a Travis Scott concert. My guess is it's going to happen less in the David Grohl because people don't want to get kicked out because he calls that shit out when he sees it, right? If you're consistently somebody that calls, like if Linkin Park consistently calls shit out as they're seeing it, right? And the idea is that when somebody falls, you better help them up because if we see it, we're calling it out, we're pausing the show, and we're gonna be, we're gonna be getting angry, and we're gonna be, it's gonna take time to get going again. You do build a culture around your fans, right? Like that's the whole point of being an influencer, right? Is it not? Like I thought that was like to fucking influence people, like right in the fucking name, right? Right?
This, or if there is instances like this, it's 1 or maybe 2, and especially beyond all of this, nobody.
But who cares? Fucking call them out. Doesn't matter if it was 1 or it was 100. We can still call out the ones that are doing bad. Okay? Bad things we can call out. That's okay.
Had seen it before, and they're all actively looking for it right now, meaning that it isn't something that everybody knows. It isn't something that everybody establishes. We're furiously Googling on our and trying to figure out this stuff and find it, which means it's just not like public it's not like culturally dominant and shit like that.
Okay,
right?
sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about it, so you might be right. But like, I have someone in my chat again saying, I think this is a Travis Scott problem. If there have been injuries at his concerts in the past which have now culminated into deaths later, years later, like it seems like this.
How many people do I need to show you that have similar instances of these problems at their concert in order for you to give them the same moral condemnation?
I would give all of them.
Give them all, yeah, like they're all in the wrong. Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it is. Right? Yeah, he's doing what he can with the resources that he has. He's up on stage. If he sees people fighting, he calls it out and it's like, you're not fighting in my fucking audience. Same with Linkin Park, right? He stops like, hey, this is what we're doing. We're calling it out. It is a little bit of like, it is a little bit of audience curation. Absolutely.
The same. No, I would give every one of them that moral condemnation.
No. I mean, sorry, the same, like, give Travis Scott the benefit of the doubt in the same way that you have the people in the past.
But I wouldn't. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
Okay. I'm gonna replay that back because Heem did interrupt it.
Concert in order for you to give them the same. Do I need to show you that have similar instances of these problems at their concert in order for you to give them the same moral condemnation?
I would give all of
like similar instance of like people getting hurt at concerts. Yeah, probably. And if you weren't calling that stuff, like if they see people like, okay, the thing is okay. Heem's position is not that people were getting hurt. Okay? His position and that they've agreed on is that people were getting hurt. He didn't pause the ambulance or pause the show for the ambulance. At the point he knew that something was happening, he could see it was happening. He didn't take steps to mitigate it. That's the issue. Of course people are going to get hurt. It happens, right? And if you don't know about it, we can't hold you responsible for it, right? If somebody falls in the concert and you don't fucking see it, it's not like, oh, we're gonna hold you responsible. It's literally, he saw the fucking ambulance, he acknowledged the ambulance or the medical vehicle or whatever the fuck it was, and continued on with the show, right? And because it had a history of like being a little more violent, a little more ragey, right? There was, and it fed into a not helping people, like helping those ambulances get through, right? Because it didn't really fit with the vibe of the concert. Okay, that's the fucking issue.
Of them the same. No, I would give every one of them that moral condemnation.
No. I mean, sorry, the same, like, give Travis Scott the benefit of the doubt in the same way that you have the people in the past.
But I wouldn't. What? Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
Because at this point, it feels like there's a lot of people who are saying, like, well, look at his past concerts and shit like that. That shit's pretty bad. That shit is pretty bad. The past concerts.
You're talking to him.
Blame there. However, looking at the past concerts and then trying to figure out, well, clearly this was going to happen. Well, no, we got to look at other people. If he's following the same guidelines or similar guidelines to what other artists are doing, for the most part, then that means that, unfortunately, he just got unlucky. That's just where it's at. He just got unlucky. Like, if I go back and I look at Queen concerts.
Sure, it could be that he got unlucky and that the crowd was crushing. The crowd was unusually ruly. Maybe they've been all super pent up and they were pushing to the stage a little extra hard. But you could even if you notice that people are getting like, because you can see the fucking crowd. You have two eyeballs. If you see that, like, holy shit, there's a lot of people dancing, you could even say, okay, everybody, you know, let's back up a little bit. I know we're all feisty, but that's not really the aesthetic of the show in this instance, right? You can do things like that. I'm almost certain I heard that during the festival. We're like, hey guys, let's spread out. You know, if you need water, go get water. If you need medical tents, go see medical tents, right? Between like sets and shit like that. There's things you can do, right? There's still things you can do. It doesn't make you a worse or better person than all the other artists that aren't doing it or not doing it. It's just, there are steps that you could still do. And we can still recognize that steps could be taken in the future without condemning a fucking person. Also, you're talking to fucking Heem. Ask him his positions. Fuck off with what other people are saying.
Like 50 people have died over the course of all of the Queen concerts. I hope that everyone's just going to start saying, yeah, we all should have known that Queen. Like, no, it's not. That's not how it works, right? We look into this situation. We look at what catches headlines and what have you, and we need
hot take. Drop it, Duber. Let's hear it. Drop the hot take. Drop it like it's hot. Talking about what other people are saying is fine if Heem keeps saying it. Chatter says, that's fair. You know what? That is fair. You know what? No, you're right, Duber. That is a great point. I need a gavel. I will allow it. Continue.
It was clearly there, written in the sand, and we should have known it.
Heem, you're in fact right. While Ahrelevant was doing it beforehand, the fact that Heem kept feeding into it, you're right, by having chatters taking comments from the chat. Okay, no, you're right.
It's like, no, there was clearly a problem where we just didn't understand that this culture would lead to this, and we should do something about that in the future instead of just saying, yeah, I mean, clearly this was going to happen.
100% wrong on that one.
I mean, fuck, bro. I don't know. When I see in 2017 he was arrested after encouraging fans to bypass security and rush the stage, leaving a security guard, a police officer, and several others injured in Arkansas. I don't know. To me, that's like, this is toxicity brewing. Like, that's when it should have stopped.
That's bad behavior for sure. That's bad behavior. I just don't know if it's unique behavior.
Who cares if it's unique? Who cares?
If it's not unique behavior, right? If it is a culturally pervasive thing,
but you
then
still
I would
follow
say that in
bad
many of these
actors.
circumstances, he's getting unlucky with how these things happen.
Well, if you do shitty things, you're gonna get unlucky.
Well, no, okay, Heem, this just comes down to this. If there is not a culture
that DVD
of
thing
thinking
is
that drinking
like
and driving is
enthralling.
bad. Nobody thinks drinking and driving is bad.
But we do think this is bad. But wait one sec, really? Okay.
No, we haven't established whether or not this is not culturally accepted. We need more information to be able to see whether or not this is.
But we've seen other concerts stop it.
He stopped his concert, Heem.
No,
he stopped his concert,
but not in the same way, right?
No, for literally the person that was passed out, he stopped his concert to get that guy help. Did he not?
Honestly, don't know. I've heard this a few times. I haven't read it in any article that he... That's 2018. Travis Scott stops concert at Astro World. Pause. After learning fan passes out. Fox 26 has a new video showing Travis Scott stops his performance at his 3rd annual music festival. Astroworld, after learning a fan passed out, officials say nearly 8 people died and several other attendees were injured. Oh, there's just a little blurb and then a video.
Somebody help him. Somebody pass it right here. Hold on, don't touch him, don't touch him. Everybody just back up. Security, somebody help jump in real quick. Keep going, just keep it this way. Somebody jump in, come on, come on.
Oh, so it's just literally long enough to tell him that the unconscious guy.
So we speak to.
I mean, that's not. I mean, I mean, I give it to him. He did pause. Rappers should have halt. Oh, this is just should have. Oh, it's not did. Oh, and that's up in Lincoln Park. Oof. True. Okay, so this one, I don't know, this is Mia. I don't know how reputable this one is. Video that surfaced on social media, so Travis Scott urging security guards to help out a fan who collapsed. Okay, so it was just the one. So it was literally of that video. Just jumped in real quick. Somebody jump in. Come on. So it was just literally that one. And it was, from the video, it looks like he just literally paused enough to tell security that that one person had passed out, and then he just kind of went back to it. Because I don't see any other videos. I don't see any other news articles. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, just looking at the little bit of news articles, like we... So, yeah. It's Adele. And this one is like just about the woman that got up there. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything where he paused for like a considerable amount of time so that people could like, and telling people to make way. He was just more... Yeah, okay. I don't know about that one.
I haven't seen the video. I saw him saying, "Oh, what's going on over here?" And then he said, "All right, let's go into the next song."
So then you're lacking critical information on this. I'm sorry. I should have given this to you. So earlier he had stopped the concert because somebody was passed out, and he said, "Stop. We need to get that guy help. He's passed out. Get that guy some help."
Okay, that's good.
But then he continued right after.
That's good.
So that's what I'm saying. So yeah, he is participating in that culture, right?
So why do that in one situation but not in the other?
And not in the other? Yeah. Well, because the pause would have been longer, arguably.
Why not be consistent?
Right. So like this is why I say he could have moral blame for the ambulance or what have you. But I think that like just saying that there is a culture of, hey, whenever something happens inside of a concert, we either shut it down or pause it, like specifically for a long period of time. There's not a culture of rage being okay. Like I haven't seen it. I need to see it. It's just that simple.
Okay. I guess we'll have to wait.
So, wait, can I actually get your hypothetical? Because I think that there's a lot of people that don't have an issue. Like, okay, then answer me this question: why haven't there been widespread controversy about many rappers' use, or many rappers? Let's just stick with Travis Scott's, or even Drake. You said you went to a Drake concert that was wild like this.
Yeah, I went to a Kendrick Lamar one. Yeah.
Or sorry, yeah, with that Drake shirt.
Yeah.
So even this one, the woman that went up on the trailer, she said she got up there, screamed at them. They wouldn't even look in a direction. So I pushed the camera to point it towards them, where I just come from. He became angry. He called someone else up, told him the same thing. People were dying. We need to stop the music. We need help. We need attention towards the mass, because I thought if these people were aware, they maybe would do something. Then the crowd started booing at her. They pointed their fury at me. Unleashed rage, she wrote. I screamed at people who were dying over and over, and no one would listen. There's 2 videos to go along with it. Just one second.
If that's okay with you, real quick. Baby, let's do it.
So there's two. There's the girl on the top screaming, another guy saying stop the show. So she tried to get somebody's attention. Okay, so there's doesn't show her pushing, but she's up on the thing. Yeah. Saves this one a little bit longer. It's just from a different angle. You get fucking hit with the DMCA claim for watching those fucking things. I don't say it doesn't look. I don't see a video of her going to push it, so I don't know how true that is, but. Wild.
If Kendrick Lamar, why isn't there this massive controversy of every one of these rappers?
There should be. There should be.
Well, there should be, but why isn't there? Is what I'm telling you. Because I could say the same thing. Me and you.
Because bro,
why do you think that there's not as much controversy?
Until people get hurt. Until people get hurt. Obviously the attention is
hurt
different.
to such a large degree.
Of course.
Exactly. And so what I'm saying is when people get hurt, right? Finally, it's when people get hurt because if you've been doing something stupid the entire time, I'm not going to blame the person that got unlucky enough to host the event when they got hurt. What I'm going to blame is the system that said it was okay for this culture to be pervasive in the first place.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Got big brain in chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
Agree on this. I have to just.
Yeah, finish it.
So then it's the exact example. If we agree that this, like, nobody cares until he gets hurt, do you blame the person that is drunk driving when everybody thinks it's fine to be drunk driving? Do you blame that person who hits somebody and kills somebody drunk driving, or do you say that this was a necessary result of the thing that we all accepted to be okay and shit like?
I don't know. Was it 300 people injured? Was it that many? Compared to COVID, checkmate. True. Fuck you. 700. More than 700 people were injured. 15 minutes spreading misinformation. Fuck, I've got a huge brain. True. Nothing compares to the COVID tragedy. We should just compare everything to that now. Oh, people are dying of tainted lettuce with E. coli? Pff, does that even compare to COVID? No? Pff, why should I give a fuck about it? Man. Yeah. That is a good point. We're gonna save on a lot of issues. We figured out a lot of things now, Doomer. Got some big brains in chat. Nice.
Hey, you hit the person. We finally found the time where, you know, the bad decisions we've been making caught up with us. And so, you know, there it is.
I don't think that, okay, so yeah, I agree that, like, a lot of times this happens where we ignore things until something bad happens and then we all of a sudden get
and then we realize it's
Would you say the same thing about, like, let's say an airline, okay, an airplane manufacturer decided to cut corners because they knew that the regulators aren't very good at checking regulations, or they don't enforce the regulations as well as they should, and then their airplane that they created crashes and kills people? Would you say that airplane
they're going against regulations? The regulations.
Well, there is regulations that says don't incite riots and stuff.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I don't disagree, but we don't apply those to concerts, and that's.
But he's gotten tickets. He's gotten arrested before for this. He's gotten 2 tickets. He's got or 2.
No, because you can't take stuff from, like, back then and push it onto what's happening now. I think I'm more apt with the airplane be like, if there isn't a certain regulation on something and they cut a corner and people die because of that corner being cut, right? Maybe they skimp it to the absolute bare minimum. We should cancel the
arrests for
I agree, Duber.
This before.
I believe this was for overpacking a venue, though.
Okay.
More evidence
well,
for
actually,
my
hold
theory.
on. Can we look up what the exact?
Sure, yeah,
arrests were?
100%. I think that's a good idea. Let's take a look. Travis Scott arrests concert. Okay, so I found one.
Duber just being vindicated. Post hawking it all for himself.
He was arrested held for
Whoa,
12
my bad.
minutes. Police accused Scott of encouraging people to rush the stage and bypass the security protocols to ensure safety. So this is literally the exact thing we're talking about.
Hold up.
Yeah.
It just in one specific. Well, he didn't necessarily do it in this instance, did he?
But it's the same thing. It's the same. You're saying this is something that we've accepted, but this isn't.
Should we close the door on the doors?
He's been
Had to jump in there with that dad joke.
held responsible for this before, and he's still encouraging. Yeah.
Well, no. But what I'm asking is, did he do it in this instance? I don't think he did.
Okay, let's say he didn't.
Okay, if he didn't, then isn't that him learning that maybe something isn't as culturally acceptable as what he previously thought in our system is working? That when we put forward something that like, hey, you can't do this, here, we're going to arrest you for it, that like he shouldn't do it in the future, and he didn't do it?
But he just did it again. So this was in 2017, right? And then in and then 6 months ago in May, he did it again.
In 6 months ago, yeah, 6 months ago.
Okay.
He apparently did it again.
Okay, so he's creating, in my opinion, he's setting the example that none of this shit matters. That do whatever you want.
Why didn't he do it for this concert?
I don't know if he did or didn't. I'm not sure if he did or didn't.
Or
But,
sorry,
but we
so
see
what-
that. But we see that the fans rushed in.
In lieu of information, right? Without evidence to show that he did, let's run with the two hypotheticals. Let's run with one where it says that he didn't do it. Okay, he didn't do it. Would you say that this could be an example of him learning that maybe this shouldn't be done?
No, I'm saying this is an example that the culture that he sets for his fans has been shown to be wrong in the past. You're saying if
How
someone
do you
does
stop-
something that if you because sorry, just to reiterate, you're saying that that none of this was shown. We haven't set cultural guidelines that this is wrong. I'm just saying we have.
No. The cultural guidelines that we're arguing over isn't overcrowding the place. That's not the argument.
It is though. It is a part of it, right? Like not listening to security, not abiding by the rules, all of
We
these.
don't know what security said. We don't know what security said yet.
Breaking in? No, we know they broke in this time. We've seen videos.
Again, do we have evidence to show that he said that breaking into this event was okay?
No, but we have evidence.
Nobody's
from
saying the
2018
culture exists of doing these things.
and from 6 months ago that he says that my fans should do this, and then that it happened this time.
Heemed, how do you stop presenting that kind of a message? Do you do it by stopping presenting that message?
No, you
Stopping
actually do
saying-
the anti.
You
of that
work
message.
against it, yeah.
What, saying that we shouldn't break into the thing?
Yeah, saying if you don't have tickets, stay the fuck out.
Heem,
Shit like that.
So then Heemed, you would argue everybody who doesn't say that you shouldn't break into my concert is performing a bad action.
If they previously have said break into my concerts, then yeah, I think that by not saying anything, you're basically okaying it. By not coming out and by not coming
But you
out.
haven't made your new stance known, right? And your new stance holds in the minds of your fans, right? This is something that Scott has advocated for in the past. It must be something like he hasn't spoke out against it, so it must be something that he still agrees with. He just hasn't, he hasn't told us this time. It's still like a position you hold, right? So it'd be no different if I give you a position now and I advocated for a ton, and then all of a sudden I just don't ever talk about it again. And we go through kind of the same motions, but I never bring up my opinion on it again, right? When I could have brought it up. Is it fair to assume that I still have that position that I held before? Yeah, probably. That's why I would have to update people with my new position, right?
Immediately disavowing it.
Well, I could agree that he should disavow his previous behavior, but I think that saying that he has to actively say for his future concerts that you better not break into my concert, I don't feel like this is true. I feel like what's much better is for him to just not encourage people to break into the concerts in the future. I feel like that's.
How do you do that without saying that? That's my question for Ahrelevant. How do you do that without saying it when your original position was the opposite? How do you make that clear to your fans that it's not okay now?
That's good enough.
Okay.
Okay. But anyway, yeah. So I feel like if there is a culture of people saying this rage shit and stuff like that, I feel like that's okay then. It's the drinking and driving analogy. It's going to catch up with us. We all knew it was going to catch up with us. It sounds like me and you are in agreement. It was going to catch up with us.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the instance where it caught up with us. I just don't necessarily agree morally. Legally, you have to. Just first and foremost, we'd have to blame the person who drunk drive or whatever the fuck. That's how it works. But because the law is pretty post hoc with a lot of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
That morally, I don't put any excess blame on some of the things that.
There's the excess again, and I heard it again. So there is some blame to be shared, and I think don't know if he catches that, but I hope he does.
He did. If we're talking about his past shit, yeah. If we're talking about him not clearing the way for the ambulance, or telling people to clear the way for the ambulance and shit like that, yeah, these are things I think are reasonable to blame him for. But okay. I don't think that this meets the level of he's actively killed his fans or anything like this. I don't all the people talking about the people on the ground or the people rushing the stage or the people talking to other people.
And once again, dude, I was going to call him out, but because he talked talked to chatters and brought up chatter stuff, I agree with you. It's now you have to address everybody.
Or the video of even the person talking to the cameraman. I feel like the cameraman, that isn't their job, that isn't their responsibility. They might not have even heard the person. Or
No, we've seen videos. I've seen videos of people going up to the cameraman and be like, people are dying in the crowd. Like,
that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
that's what
Like,
I'm talking
what is
about.
that cameraman supposed to do? What is, like, genuinely, like, what is that cameraman?
Radio it in. Yeah. Well, gonna have to finance them somehow, you know. Well, like you said, you can do a lot of things. You can radio it, like he has a radio, right? You could radio in, hey, people are complaining that people are passing out, dying, like people are having cardiac arrest. Like there's a lot of things you can do. You can point the camera away, right? Like there are people monitoring those cameras elsewhere for different feeds, and you could radio in and be like, hey, here they are. They could switch to a different camera feed. Like I'm sure there's like a ton of shit that the cameraman could do.
Man's supposed to think. Like I could easily see a reality where that cameraman, like, again, this has to do with the culture, not like what ought be done, right? The culture of it is like, this person's fucking mapped out and they made it all the way up to the stage, right? The fuck I care. I'm just here to do my job. I'm a minimum wage worker, or like maybe I don't know how much those people make, right?
Somebody comes to you with a complaint, you should still radio it in, at least to some degree.
So I'm not gonna,
even if you think that person is fucking whacked out.
Yeah,
there must be some sort of reporting system or something. I think for everybody.
Fuck you, DVD thing. Make it in the fucking corner.
That's another bit of moral condemnation on these people.
Sure.
Yeah,
so now apparently this is just an article from 24 minutes ago. They're being sued for $1 million in damages.
We'll see how that lawsuit goes. Yeah, we'll see how that lawsuit goes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I guess you made some interesting points. I think there's a culture, and the culture should change.
Thank
but
you. I
sometimes
did make some
cultural change
interesting
comes
points.
when a tragedy happens.
True.
And
well, I think that's often how it happens. Unfortunately, is we just kind of got to be like, well, drunk driving's okay, and then some group family fucking dies.
God's just gonna get 10 times fun if they all sign the liability waivers.
Fuck out of it and actually get something done. That's usually how it comes. I forget. There's a quote by somebody smarter than me who has a like innovation is like whenever people die. Or
I actually thought there was like some form. Well, I guess you're not really signing a liability waiver, but there's kind of like a limited liability, I guess, when you purchase a ticket to certain things.
Whatever shit like that.
Like even like when you purchase like I think like a hockey ticket, if you get hit by like a flying puck, it's like it's kind of like in there. They're like, hey, this is something. In I actually, you know what? Before I talk into my ass a little too much, can I sue if I get hit by a puck at a hockey game? Sports events are filled with accidents waiting to happen. Not only athletes harm themselves, the players during the game, but the stands are rifle alcohol drinking fans. In 1974, for example, the Cleveland Indians promoted their game with the Texas Rangers and the 10-cent beer night, and the event went down in history. The stadium offered 12 U.S. fluid ounces, 3.2% of beer, just 10 cents a cup with a limit of 6 cups purchased. However, there was no limit on the number of purchases each individual could make. During the event, the fans became increasingly intoxicated and eventually rioted. A large number of them charged onto the field with knives, chains, pieces of the stadium seat, with others or other objects with the stands. No one was killed, but many players, officials, and sports enthusiasts were injured. Damn. Well, that's not really what a flying object. There we go. A foul ball, a stray hockey puck is not uncommon at a sporting event. It can also cause a lot of damage. Hockey pucks can hit at a speed of 105 miles per hour, and baseballs have been clocked at 198 miles per hour. Brittany Nicole Stewart was the only fan to be killed in 100 years in the National Hockey League. The 13-year-old girl was struck and tumbled and deflected a puck. Later died of her injuries. Following her death, the NHL implemented a mandatory sitting net above the glass in all stadiums, but the amateur games who is liable for another injury, similar injury occurs. Many sporting events tickets have a disclaimer paragraph explaining that any damage to the fans of the stadium is not responsible to the owner. However, it is the owner's responsibility to ensure this does not happen. Baseball fields typically have a net just behind the home plate in order to prevent foul balls from striking up prepared spectators and the fans. Fans in the outfield, on the other hand, have the few seconds to react. The ball headed the direction. If you were hit by a ball or puck, you could reasonably avoid. You might not have a good case against the stadium owner. Cool. Boom. Red.
And it's pretty true. I hope that we get the changes that it sounds like me and you
Duber's ready to rage. He's ready to go.
Both agree.
But you guys like that speed reading? That's how we do.
Should be changed, because I think me and you agree pretty much entirely on the solutions. And when it comes to the holding artists accountable and the change of culture that needs to happen,
I say we should hold Duber accountable for everything.
Can't be saying like break into my fucking.
You can direct all your complaints to Duber
and cringe shit like this.
Okay. I want to ask you something after. Okay. Let's say here's a hypothetical. Let's say Travis Scott, for his entire
if we
career,
die, we
was
die.
Like, hey, everyone, break into the concert, jump over the fence, do this, do that.
True. I will see you in Valhalla.
But for this,
today, I
oh my God, what is playing? Oh my God, no.
Moderate
We'll watch that later. Jesus.
Specific concert, he didn't say anything. You would say that he has no responsibility.
I would say that he should have disowned the past shit, but I don't think he has to be anti it going into this one. I don't think so. I think he can disown the previous shit and then just be big chiller.
But do we know if he has disowned the previous shit?
I mean, maybe he probably hasn't, like, in maybe an Instagram video, maybe, but like nothing I would actually consider. I would be surprised. I would be very surprised.
Okay.
I'd be very surprised.
Okay. Can you hear that banging, by the way?
No.
It's my neighbors going at it. I hope that's the next thing he says.
My chat keeps talking about like a high pitched.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I'm sorry, chat.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Hey, how you been? Everything good?
Yeah.
Did you see the clip of Shoe on Head telling me?
I did. Brother, like, Jesus Christ. I had a very fierce reaction.
I need to. Yo, somebody link me that. I told everybody to send me links if people watched it.
Oh my God! If anybody has the link of Relevant responding to that shoe on head comment, I would love to watch that.
I cringed the fuck out, man.
Yeah. It was interesting. She swung for the fences with that one.
Yeah.
Man, that was like, holy shit. Holy fuck. That was probably one of the more yikesy comments I think I've heard, in a while, for sure. The other one, when somebody puts a gun to their head when being asked if they would date a trans person, that one was pretty yikes. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that's something you would hear on a rural construction site. Yeah. I haven't kept up with any of that. Heem's reaction makes it the funniest fucking thing in the world. Because it is super yikes, but seeing the way that Heem took it like a champ and just lost it and just started laughing was, that's what makes that
I don't want to put you in a tough spot where you have to say anything or anything like that, so don't feel free to not respond. But like,
respond.
I just don't. I don't want to say it because I don't want to put you in a tough spot where people like Heem didn't push back against Ahrelevant here, but I don't know.
You would have been upset.
I'm quite upset at that. That's just like 4chan fucking lowest. It's like if
it is, obviously.
Somebody
say it, Duber. Say it again. Drop it again for us. Hard, like a sack of potatoes. True. He would have farmed the shit out of that. Man, that was prime. That was somebody else planted all the seeds, did all the fertilizing, picked all the little weeds out. It was a beautiful crop. Ripe for drama farming. And Heem just drove by the field and be like, oh, that's a nice field. That's nice. And just went on his way. Good for him though, taking the higher road. Off the rural road, right up to the freeway. Good for him.
Went up to me, he's like, "Hey, yeah, what food do you like? Grape drink?"
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you eat fried chicken?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
So,
it was, but I think that's kind of like the absurdity of it.
True.
Like, I don't know. We were like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I can see both sides of it. I don't know. Just someone's like, "Why were you laughing?" It's like, dude, I don't know. It was my reaction. What do you want? Like, it was
I fucked those people because I knew that was gonna happen. As soon as you started laughing, I was like, "Oh god, here comes these fucking leftist cringe fucks. They say some fucking stupid ass fucking shit that are white as hell." I knew it was gonna fucking happen. The fucking pale ass fucking shit is gonna come through.
Like, I'm sorry. I don't know. It's a reaction in real time.
Honestly, did not expect it. 100%.
Who the fuck? Yeah, who the fuck cares? Like, I laugh at some fucking edgy shit sometimes and shit like that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Shoe on Head. So.
Oh really? I don't know who she is. That's why I was. I'm not familiar with her at all.
I see. Yeah, she's.
I see.
I don't want to get you in trouble. I don't want to get you in trouble.
My bad, homie.
All right, bro. Anything else?
Nah, much love. You have a good
too,
one.
bro. You're
Wish
best.
you the best.
Keep it up. Good job. Peace.
Okay, we got Wicked Supreme next.
All right, that was an interesting chat. What did you guys think? I like Relly a lot. I know some of you guys hate Relly. I don't know why. I think Relly is fucking.
Why? Shots fired, man. Like you said, he's got to draw him in somehow. Shoe on Head? Don't even know who that is. Not even in my wheelhouse. Not even on my radar. Don't even care. To be fair, I've never watched any of Shoe's content either.
I don't know. I like him a lot. He's funny. He's good people. It seemed like he was just trying to win the argument. Well, listen, that's what we all do.
True.
The better the argument, the more socialism it is. But I got to show first.
Socialism.
Listen, if you're
equals
enjoying
win
the stream,
argument.
come join us in the Heem.gg chat. All right. like Exponent, Lanitas, Mythaldo, and ASD Fui. Okay.
Like potato band plug.
If you're really enjoying the stream,
No, don't go join in HGG. No.
consider subbing to the channel so that you
Yeah, you hear that? You're watching. Let's get those subs rolling in. You know. Ugh. Makes me feel dirty. I don't like it.
can skip out on all the ads. Twitch is really fucking pushing the ads hard and heavy. And
No, I don't even think I have ads on, honestly. Not yet. When we go to day streaming. Got all that sweet day money. Yeah, honestly, I don't even think I have ads connected.
what else? Oh, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I just posted the Vosh and Shoe on Head podcast, which honestly is 4 hours of some of the most primo content I've ever made. Hey, Muda!
Bro, your shit is whack as fuck.
Wicked is in Ahrelevant's chat complaining about the leftist populist idiots in here raffle.
What does Wicked Supreme's complain? I want to know. Let me go troll Relly's chat first.
Hey, babe.
How are you, man?
Good, sorry, let me meet you. Nothing. I'm just getting really, really sick of the only conduit by which people engage in like current events topics is to look for a bad guy, is to fucking engage in like, bloodlust. Not really work to understand how these problems occur at all. Not really working to understand like how events unfolded or anything like that. And then like just trying to shortcut and jump straight to the fucking like individual condemnations. I just get really, really tired of it.
So what examples did you see here? Like, how did you think I did in the chat with Supreme? Did you think I brought up decent points?
Wicked Supreme is our bad guy now.
Populist leftist.
Oh, you guys can't really even see that.
It's cute that you confused me with Ahrelevant, but
No, I'm saying when you heard my chat with Ahrelevant, I assumed that you.
Yeah, but you said Supreme.
Oh, sorry, fuck, my bad.
Fucking, I guess I'm curious. Is there anything that you disagreed with him on?
Yeah, I think it was really fucked up. Oh, with Relly?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think he agreed with me that he should have paused the show to make sure the ambulance had path out.
To be clear, I want to make sure that I'm representing his point as I understood it. What I understood is that he said he did not have enough information to make the claim that Travis Scott ought to have stopped the show, but he said that he couldn't think of any reason why he wouldn't.
And the miscommunication begins again. No, I hope they address it, because once again, when Heem says stop the show, he's saying pause, and when Relly, and when Relly is saying stop the show, he means stop it completely. And I hope we're not just going to listen to, what is that, almost 18 minutes of just the same miscommunication.
Yeah, I think that was what he said.
This is different than saying I think he should have stopped the show.
Well, if he's saying I can't think of any other reason why he wouldn't,
yeah.
What is he saying? He should have done it.
No, he's saying that before I say I think he should have stopped the show, I would like to know more about any communication that may have occurred between Travis Scott and his security team, or, like
you think that there's a situation where not pausing the show for the ambulance to get out is better than an alternative?
So he mentioned, was it the police chief or that was saying that like stopping the show might not stopping the show was an anti-riot prevention method or something like that.
Stopping the show, sure, but not pausing.
Not pausing.
And we've seen
even in the article that Ahrelevant was talking about, it specifically said they wish Scott would have paused it because the person with the mic has all the power.
Before where concerts were paused.
Sure. So I think Ahrelevant's
attention.
point would reflect the way that I feel about this as well. And I'm getting a little bit irritated hearing this from you. Like in the moment, trying to piece this together and trying to reason your way into like figuring out what people should have done when nobody here has the information necessary to like
it doesn't matter
to make that call definitively, right? We're still waiting for all like tons of information.
Sure, yeah, of course,
to be released.
But what about like saying that we can condemn his previous rhetoric on this issue?
Are we going to condemn him uniquely, or is there like a greater culture? I don't follow rap. I don't know. I haven't read anything about this, which is why I'm not making strong claims about this situation. This is all just supposed for me, and I'm only engaging in the topic as people are discussing.
Sure, yeah, hypotheticals.
So you're a hip hop guy. You like rap concerts.
Not
right?
modern, not like this young mumble rap kids shit. I like more like sophisticated, like older, like Anderson .Paak and shit like that. So I don't know.
The best I can do is relay the arguments Ahrelevant laid out.
Sure, you're his lawyer basically.
Well, I listened to the conversation. I just want to make sure that his points are represented. And it seems like I asked you if you had any disagreements walking away from him. You said no.
No, I don't think we had that many disagreements.
You're a boomer now, Duber.
Okay. Well, besides the point that he's saying that
welcome to the club.
I think the disagreement we had was that based off of his previous rhetoric, it seems that this, whether it's unique or not unique or everyone does it or not, that like this was gonna happen, and that's a problem. I think that we can condemn one person even though other people might also be engaging in that behavior. It's the person who got caught, basically.
Yeah, but is that like acceptable? Do you think that's?
Well,
yeah, because now
why wouldn't it be, I guess?
So here's the question too, and like, when do you start to condemn it, right? When you notice it's a problem and there's an issue, somebody's got to be the first, right? How do we determine who's the first? It seems like this is a clear-cut example of like bad shit happening, bad rhetoric in the past, right? People not pausing shows properly, right? Not letting medical staff get through, right? People crowding in, crushing each other. When do we call it? Right? Arguably, it should have been with the Doors, right? They had 11 people. It should have been the same thing. We obviously know this is an issue, right? And it's okay. We learn. We grow up. Somebody still, unfortunately, has to be the first when it comes to calling this shit out. Somebody's going to take that fall.
Maybe you can change my mind.
Sure. So generally, if there's a culture around something and, it's only worth like a passing remark of saying, I'm kind of worried about this. This could potentially amount to something really harmful or something.
Okay.
But there's not really a national conversation about this really harmful practice.
I don't think that there's this culture that exists. I think the standard is that when there's a medical emergency.
Who's hanging? I'm hanging to the left a little bit. And we got Duber. Duber's a mod. He's always here. He's got to be a mod. I'm out. But Duber says nice things. You even said so. He said you pumps him up. Times him. We'll get rid of that. Teams him up for a second. Power's gone to Duber's head. Heem, if you're still there, if you're listening, if you haven't left yet, I 100% agree with you. I think there is a point in time when we realize it's wrong culturally, and somebody has to be the first person that we have to be like, this is an example of things going wrong. I think when you have past rhetoric that you've engaged in, when you don't actively call out your past rhetoric, it is fair for people to assume that is still your stance. I think absolutely when he saw that ambulance, it should have been a time for a pause, right? Not to stop the concert completely, a pause. Both Ahrelevant and Wicked Supreme brought up that New York Times article saying where the Chiefs didn't want to stop the show. Literally directly below that, in that article, they specifically call out Travis Scott as the man on the mic that should have paused that show. And I brought it up twice now. And it is, I'll link it in chat and you can go read it. We've been going through articles like crazy. So in this one, literally partway down, they literally talk about it. Where is it? Yeah, so Fire Chief Samuel Panay said on Sunday that Mr. Scott and the organizers could... so the show ended Friday night 30 minutes earlier than scheduled, but nearly 40 minutes after a mass casualty event had been declared by city officials. One question surrounding the tragedy was whether officials could have stopped the show sooner. They said that doing so could have had its own perils, including inciting a riot. Fire Chief Samuel Panay said on Sunday that Scott and the organizers could have stepped in and paused the show. The one person who can really call for and get a tactical pause when something goes wrong is that performer. They have a bully bullpit, and they have a responsibility, Chief Panay said in a telephone interview on Sunday. If somebody would have said, hey, shut this thing down, turn on the lights until this thing gets corrected, and that coming from that person with the mic, it would have been very helpful. So, yeah. Well, now you know, man. We've been reading articles like crazy, going through. No, I think 100%, man. You were totally in the right with this. And the other frustrating thing is that like it doesn't matter what other artists are doing. We can still talk about this one situation, right? One piece of advice I would give you when having these conversations is ignore your chat. If you see a good question in chat, make it organic like you came up with it. Because one thing that I notice in a lot of these conversations is that Ahrelevant was kind of started it. You kind of put the nail in the coffin for it, is pulling out what other people are saying elsewhere, right? It doesn't matter. You two are having a conversation, have that conversation and ignore the rest of the world, because you guys will talk past each other, which arguably to some degree was a lot of what was going on with the pause stop the show, right? You were using stop the show as like a pause, and Irrelevant was using stop the show as like end the show, right? No more show's done. And that right off the bat started that miscommunication. Other than that, really good conversation. I mean, there was obviously no yelling. It was pretty good. I mean, Irrelevant did kind of agree with you towards the end, where it's like, yeah, I probably should have paused the show to let the ambulance in. But yeah, no, like I said, true. Duber doesn't have anything valuable to say. So we're just finishing up on the Wicked Supreme part right now. I'm kind of curious to see. I have a feeling it's going to be probably the same miscommunication aspect. But other than that, no, it's been pretty good so far.
The artist stops the concert to get the medical attention. We see so many examples of that in the last couple of days.
Okay, you watched a bunch of clips that were collected
For that purpose, sure.
which are cherry picked.
Yeah.
Okay.
But how would I demonstrate that for you otherwise?
But they're okay. They're cherry picked, but they're examples of a artist seeing a medical issue or seeing a crowd issue and calling it out, right? It doesn't matter if things are missed in the crowd. It is clear-cut examples that somebody looks, they see an issue, they call it out. They stop, they pause. That is what we're concerned about, is that when the artist sees something, they take steps to mitigate it. It's no different. Honestly, the stream chat, I liked your comparison, because there are times in chat where I won't catch everything. Duber might not catch anything. Your mods aren't going to catch everything. But when you do see it, you moderate it. You curtail your chat to the best of your ability. We don't expect streamers to get everything. That's impossible. That's an unreal expectation. This is fake. I catch everything. This is fake news. But we expect that when a streamer or a mod team sees something, that they do something about it. Much with the same thing with the concerts. Duber's drunk with power. He catches everything now.
Show you that this happens.
We may not be prepared to do that. There may not be any like reporting mechanism to collect, like what we may have seen are false positives. That where the intervening variable is that's footage that was collected.
Jesus.
It's the case that people get injured, or
Damn.
fucking, squeezed or whatever it is, broken limbs, pass out at concerts, and it never makes headlines.
Tell you one thing, being a construction worker is pretty based. I got no work to take on with me. Okay, I just get to be a big old fatty boombalatti and watch OG content and play games. Although we didn't play games. Hey, let's put it this way. Last couple of ones, you came and you watched me playing video games while doing a review. You can ask. I haven't played a single game. Okay, I've been reading articles. I've been fact checking you. I've been finding things to help you. You're like one of the very few videos that have gotten my full undivided attention. You should feel a little special on that. So true, we have been pretty invested.
Lines, nobody snaps footage of it or whatever.
Okay. So before you comment on it, you need to see like a.
I saw it was heated in the Discord. People were very, very clearly heated about it. I felt like it was something I had to take a little bit more seriously. And yeah, I have to agree with Ali. It is definitely 100% you definitely take the win on this one.
Buddy, you can't make like a moral judgment on what you.
As an orbiter, I'm unbiased.
In the situation.
Before never do that this concert or that Travis Scott concerts are unique in this way as compared to his contemporaries.
Duber's always a ray of sunshine.
Well, then we could look at have his contemporaries been arrested for the same thing, right? I don't know if that's like the standard in the rap community to get arrested for trying to incite a riot and shit like that.
Yeah, I really don't know. Like I said, I'm only relaying the points as I understood them.
Okay. Why are you talking shit about the chatters?
Sure. So I see this a lot. There's a greater trend.
Let it rip, bro. Get it off your chest.
Sure. I think it's doubly ironic that this seems to come. I expect this sort of stuff from conservatives because conservatives toe that fucking individual responsibility line, right? But like, it seems really ironic to me to see this behavior from leftists, where every time something bad happens, that can be like a cascade failure, and it generally happens before even all the details are known or reported. Where leftists will want to take shortcuts and jump to a conclusion that one individual is like significantly and uniquely evil or bad or something like that.
I honest to God, I
it's
haven't
assuming the worst in individuals, and I think
I like even watching like your chat. I haven't really seen. I haven't really seen anybody be like, Travis Scott is uniquely like. Okay, I've seen people say he's like the worst, but I really haven't seen like he's uniquely. We have the same chatters. Well, and that's like Well, that would be the ironic thing too. Yeah, if you share a lot of overlap with viewers, it's going to be all of them, right? Like it's like I'm sure there's like once again, okay, and this is the issue too, is now Wicked Supreme has stepped in, right? Now you're on a new conversational level. You haven't addressed chat, right? Saying like this is what chat's saying to you, but he is uniquely going out and picking examples and trying to discuss that with you as your conversation, and I don't like that. So
It's really fucking gross.
But I don't think I think everyone in chat is acknowledging that it should fall on the organizers, and the lack of security it's not uniquely it's not uniquely, I'm just reading chat, it's not uniquely Travis Scott's fault.
Sure, I think the Alec Baldwin example is another strong example of this.
Yeah, and I had the same take that like
and I mean that's
really...
it's definitely frustrating. 100%, I would agree with that, right? But like we kind of breed at doing breaking news. If there's one thing that humans are really, really good at, it's speculating. And it's really hard not to do. Man, is it super hard. Like if you're consciously, like even when this first came up and we watched the Moist Critical video, I made it very clear that I was only looking at what Moist Critical was saying, and I refused to speculate on what was going on. And it's really hard.
Hold Alec Baldwin responsible, but if he was the person in charge of
True.
the production, maybe
True.
if the production had loopholes in it or whatever, that the shortcuts they took, whatever, in that way the corporation of Alec Baldwin might be held responsible. But I think my chat's pretty I don't think my chat's full of radical lefties like you claim it is.
I don't think your chat is like uniquely harboring a significant amount of people or something like that represents this greater trend.
Oh, okay.
You as an individual tend to be pretty even keeled.
Okay, good.
So
Yeah, I agree though.
Saying
I
the
have seen
movement
a
as
lot
a whole.
It's kind of like
Yeah,
reactionary.
probably. I would agree with that.
Lefties, kind of. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's more like it's just the greater trend of leftist populism, where no issue can be understood if you don't have a boogeyman to like condemn.
Billionaires bad.
Billionaires bad, or person in charge bad, or like cascade failure on multiple levels.
To be fair, yeah. Well, that is the issue, is get offline, right? Like stop listening to just political pundits, right? We can see that with the way that a lot of like these bigger people kind of go. Is they need a bad guy, right? It's no different than conservatives. It is that fear. It is that this is the enemy. This is who you need to be mad at. This is who you need to direct all your anger to. A lot of people have engaged in that, right? And that kind of comes along with these very complex topics, is to say it's complex and not single person is to blame. People don't like that, right? Well, who do I direct my anger to? Well, not really any one individual. There's like probably hundreds that you could choose from. I don't like that. I'm just going to direct all my anger towards like Jeff Bezos because he's a billionaire. It's a single individual. That's super easy. People don't like amorphous blobs to be angry at, but that's the reality of the situation. Is it's called the machine for a reason, right? The war machine. It's not one cog. The economy machine. There's not just one cog. It's a lot of individual people acting in unison to make it go round and round, right? To make it work. So.
But this person's the boss. This person
punch your
owns
couch
the,
like a
you know,
Chad.
owns the
True.
company or something.
But I don't want to.
It always has
My
to
kitty's
weigh in
sleeping
or
on it. I don't
something
want to
like
punch my.
that.
I don't want to punch my
Especially
couch.
when it comes, before any real details about a current events topic is reported, and there's still like tons of detail waiting to be discovered or released.
Can I punch the other couch? You know what? Let's punch the other couch. No, not gonna punch the cat instead. Okay, we're gonna go punch the other couch. Coach didn't even know what hit it. Now that's politics. That's how it's done. It's gonna make a great clip for later.
People just want shortcuts to just like indulge in their bloodlust.
Yeah, I hear that.
Especially when it's like, I know these are topics that none of you motherfuckers care about. You care about it?
It's true. I don't give two shits about music. Okay, I don't listen to it at all. Okay, I listen to non-sound wave music.
To the extent that it's a current event.
Well, I don't know about that. Like a concert, attending a concert, I think that's a pretty, people can relate to that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Again,
it's different from like it's like none of us are actors on set. It doesn't really affect us. But going to a concert, like, especially an all ages one, any one of us could have kids that, all right, bro. Well, listen.
I don't know. I think everybody kind of covers stuff they might not
wanna
always care
say-
about
you
to
wanna
the
say
same
fuck 'em
degree as
one?
other things.
All right, bro. I'm gonna go watch Dr. Phil have cart narcs on.
All right, I love you more.
Later, peace. Fuck you both. What did I do?
I'm equally neutral. Fuck everybody. Boom, we're done. That was a good video. We'll give that a oh, we already gave it a thumbs up before we even finished. That's a little bias. Well, hell now, partner. If you enjoyed that content, why don't you hit that like and subscribe? And don't forget to follow on Twitter.